And hello, guys. Welcome. It's time once again for the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. As always, we do thank you for joining us here. We currently do have 60 people watching us here. I'm joined here this week with our usual panel here. We do have two special guests that will be here. Don't know exactly when they're coming, but we will be having RealRadMan and KamikazeGames coming on here with us. We have invited KamikazeGames. We're waiting on him. RealRadMan, we know it's going to be pretty late. Unfortunately, he says he's sorry. He apologizes for that. So we are expecting him at some point. As for today's video, we do have a little bit to discuss, including where has DoubleEdud done. He has vanished. We have no Eric Estep here. He is gone, folks. But also, we did have the All-Star Race this weekend. Kevin Harvick is on track to become the richest man in the United States of America. At this rate, I want some money, Kevin. I will switch hats if you send some. Send a check. I'm a very nice guy. And also, we are going over back to Charlotte Motor Speedway this weekend for the Coke 600. We do also have the Indianapolis 500 going on this weekend. I will be at the Coke 600 this weekend. If you'll be around, say hi to me. I'm Danny B. I'm pretty nice. After this, I'm going to pass it along to our other panelists here and pass it on to the man who just showed up. He was gone. Now here's Eric Estep, DoubleEdud.
Thank you, Danny. Yeah, just popping up right out of nowhere. I love it when What Incarnation's the first comment I read of the night. That always makes me feel good inside. How's it going, everybody? Excited to be here. Excited to talk to these guys as always, and excited to talk to our two guests whenever they show up. We know those of you who followed along, KamikazeGames has had some technical difficulties recently, unfortunately, so hopefully he's able to hop on a little bit later. He should. We're expected to have him, and we're excited to talk to him. Excited to talk to all you guys, of course, Radman, and yeah, I got the All-Star Race, Harvick, a lot of stuff to discuss. So glad to be here, and I'll throw it over to you, Black Flags Matter.
Oh, I thought we were going in order, but okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know the order.
No, it's all good.
We're off to a good start already, folks.
So what's up, guys? It's Black Flags Matter again. Just wanted to also announce that tomorrow it'll be the first episode of my brand new series called Gone Too Soon. So basically, it's a series where I go over drivers who the sport had lost, like drivers such as like Adam Petty, Blaze Alexander, those guys. So I'm going to go more in depth in their careers and stuff. And it's going to begin with the first driver being Adam Petty tomorrow. So hear my thoughts on him and what he would have been if he had, lived. So can't wait to do that. And this is like one of the best parts of my week is doing this live stream. I want to make an announcement. I'll be in Virginia next week for the next starting next week, next Wednesday. So I'll be at King's Dominion on Friday. If anyone lives in that area, in the area, I'll be there next Friday. So if you see me, say what's up. And now let's turn it over to the Iceberg.
Yes, saving the best for last, I take it. So what's up, everybody? I still suck at intros. I think that's gonna be the running joke, and also the running joke is that I pick Harvick, so that's worked out pretty well for me. Yeah, I don't know really what else to say, so I'll just stay positive, or Kenny will also come after me.
I made the joke a couple weeks ago, with the sports betting being legalized. Why would you bet on anybody other than Harvick? You'd just be losing money these days. We could all become millionaires in just a few short weeks.
I mean, I said I'm wanting to hold some of his money. I think if I just bet on the man, I'll get some,
Yeah, I mean, he'll probably win, 15, 18 races this year. Nothing major.
I'm betting. Oh, we should have a segment later in the show, over under 15 wins for Harvick, and see what everyone thinks.
I'll make this bold prediction. Harvick will not get another win until Homestead.
I'll make another bold prediction. Harvick will not get another win until the Coke 600.
Both equally bold, honestly.
Just the way this season's going for Kevin, and it brings up an interesting thought that I've been having for a while now, and I plan on making a video about this, so y'all will be able to enjoy that one whenever it comes out. Speaking of which, actually, they put up another video today, 5 NASCAR drivers he probably forgot about, part 2, so you can go check it out after the podcast. But anyways, something I've been thinking about here lately is, what if Kevin Harvick doesn't win the championship, all because of the way the system works, if he doesn't win Homestead?
I hope
that is a huge question that I believe will be the trigger point to change the way the point system is finally.
I think that's interesting. It'll be interesting to see how the rest of the season plays out, because if it continues in this trend, if he does end up with 12 to 15 wins and looks the most consistent and then just happens to have an engine failure at Homestead, I think that'll be crucial. But I will say I'll compare it to other sports where we talk about how some teams maybe aren't good in the clutch, or maybe some teams they make mistakes down the stretch, or they aren't a playoff team. Perhaps they only succeed. Like Tom Brady always does well in the playoffs, keeps going to Super Bowls. Golden State Warriors might have a lackluster regular season by their standards. They turn it on in the playoffs. That's kind of the trend. Maybe that could be the story. Harvick, we call him the closer. I honestly don't know why he has that nickname anymore, because I feel like the last 4 years has been filled with him failing to win races he should have won. I mentioned this in Out of the Groove. Over the course of 2014 and 2015, I think he had over 15 second place finishes. Imagine if half of those had been wins. He would have a couple 10-win seasons probably by now. So I don't know. Harvick, I think that could become a storyline if they do somehow fail by their own doing. I think, like I said, if it's an engine failure, or if Morgan Shepherd wrecks him at Phoenix and he doesn't make it to Homestead, I think that would definitely put a stain on this format for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Kurz brings up a good point here. He said, and we thought Truex Jr. had a dominant season last year. Truex Jr.'s season last year seems like nothing compared to what Kevin Harvick's having this year.
Yeah, it's really different. I mean, how many wins did Truex have last year? 8?
Eight, but 4 of them were in the playoffs. He's already beat his season.
Yeah. I compared Joey Logano in 2015 had those 3 wins in the whole. He swept the second round of the playoffs and didn't make it to Homestead because of the drama with with Kenseth. But that's just a case of possibly the most deserving driver that year didn't get a shot at the championship.
Yeah. I think
he's so proud of that.
Yeah, I would say a bold prediction is this. I'm really hoping that Harvick, he wins all. I'm banking on Harvick winning all of these races, and then him winning and then not winning the championship. I'm still going to stand by this, but if Kyle Larson somehow, some way makes it to the Final 4, he will win the championship. Guaranteed.
Yes, if that happens, I think you're right. It's just
because all you have to do is win Homestead. You just got to finish ahead of 3 other guys at Homestead, and his track record is unbelievable.
You can finish 36th at Homestead and win the championship.
It's just that those last 3 before Homestead do not play in his favor, though.
Especially since they figured Texas. That was his only bright spot. Now he can't run the wall there anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, I'm here's who I'm going to root for, because I don't like this system. I think I made it pretty well known. I'm rooting for anybody who has 0 wins. Anyone with 0 wins going into the chase. I'm not.
Well, that's a lot of
playoffs. I
people
guess
at this
Chase
point,
is
thanks
gone.
to Kyle Busch and Kevin
Yeah.
Harvick. So
Yeah, I'll root for anyone without a win. Wouldn't it be funny if Jimmy Johnson like sucks all year with no wins, like gets lucky because people wreck out, and then finishes like 14th and wins the championship at Homestead?
I would love it.
that'd be hilarious.
Oh.
Especially Eric would love it because he just put up a video today talking about similar to what I did when I did my most recent season review. Of course, I started off with saying what I thought that we'd see X amount of wins from Chevy, and gosh, do I feel like an idiot now. But
I uploaded my out of the group today comparing. I made an episode where I gave all my preseason predictions. This was before speed weeks and all that. I gave you who the 16 drivers I thought would make the playoffs and where I thought they would be eliminated and who would win. I picked Johnson to win the championship. I compared that list then to the current chase grid, the current playoff grid standings. And I was, basically the common trend was I thought Chevys would be a lot better than they are right now. And I thought Fords would struggle. In fact, I had Kurt Busch missing the playoffs entirely. He is 8th in points right now, making me look like a damn fool. So thank you, Kurt, for all the memories.
Yeah, that's why I didn't do any like preseason predictions because I would probably be wrong as hell, as you guys are.
Yeah. I got some things right. I think I had Kyle Busch high on the list, but mostly I had Chase Elliott in the final 4, and I think he's 16th on the grid right now.
Yeah, but nobody predicted Kevin Harvick would win this many races.
Let me see where I put it. I had a preseason prediction. I was gonna do a video, and then I was like, no, I don't want to be like proven wrong. But I actually predicted the top 30 in points. Let me you guys can keep going, but let me see if I can find it.
You predicted
I had Kevin Harvick winning 5 races in this season, and then I did have him winning the championship. But I didn't have Kevin Harvick winning until New Hampshire. Like, that's way far back. He's probably going to be getting his 9th win by then.
I didn't pick like on a race-to-race basis or anything. I just looked at points overall, but I had Harvick finishing 6th and getting eliminated in the round of 12 or round of 8. So yeah, that seems unlikely at the moment, especially with Phoenix in that round.
So I don't have it on me right now, but I do remember a few. I remember I picked Kyle Larson to win the championship, which the way that the Chevys have been is probably pretty dumb. And I picked the guy to finish 3rd in the final 4 because I thought he'd take this huge step this year, and I feel like an idiot now. Suarez.
Oh.
Yeah. I was like, I'm playing 4D chess with this stuff right now. I am gonna prove them all wrong. Now watch, I actually am right.
He's not even in the top 20, man. Holy
cow. I know that's a bad thing. But I mean, with this format, I mean, any Joe Schmo can get fucking lucky with it.
Yeah, pretty much. Who knows? Ty Dillon, he might, make the chase.
It's fitting that Vegas is the start of this year's championship run.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, Harvick will probably do what he did in the spring, just dominate that one.
See, I do think though that because right now, like with the way the chase grid is, a lot of it's points. But as people lower down start winning, like, what do you guys think about if Johnson can make it? I mean, like we've been reminded, he still has led as many laps this year as all of us.
Look, Johnson,
yes.
Look, I've said it before. This playoff system promotes mediocrity in a sense. I mean, the top 16. Yeah. I mean, when you really look at it, probably only like 4 or 5 teams have a realistic shot at winning the title, basically. So,
right. I mean, we've got Austin Dillon. He's in there, but honestly, he's going to be the first one eliminated, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean,
totally.
The whole thing promotes mediocrity. So it really doesn't. I mean, he's currently 13th in the standings or something like that. So he'll probably point his way in. He'll probably luck his way into the second round. But then after that, that's it.
This current format, its job was to create a more random finishing results to the season. It was created because Jimmy won 5 in a row, and then they're like, oh, well, he lost 2 years in a row. I think we were good. And then he won again, and they're like, no, we got to stop Jimmy Johnson. So they created this to make it so no one person could win more than probably 2 championships in a row, and it still seems like that's unlikely.
It's fun to a certain point. But it's also very flawed because of the fact that, and I even thought about this last year. Oh, what if Truex actually loses? And then this year, okay, if Harvick loses, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm a little torn there because you could argue that in every sport. Like last season in baseball, I don't remember who had the best record. I think the LA Dodgers had the best record in the league, but they lost to the Astros. You look at this year, Rockets have the best record in the league. They're probably going to lose to the Warriors, and they're not even going to be in the finals. So you look at it's the same across other sports. I think NASCAR, one thing people always set it apart is because it had that tradition of being not having a playoff format for so long. I think that's one of the things that a lot of fans still hold on to and still like to look back on is like we were a sport that is 100% without gimmicks. Meanwhile, I think every other North American sport, we've kind of become accustomed to the playoffs. We don't even think of them as gimmicks anymore. We just think of the playoffs. You got to be ready for the playoffs. You got to rest up and make sure you're healthy for the playoffs. NASCAR, we still don't think like that. And I think this playoff format, I wonder if it's ever going to change people's minds or if there's always going to be a large number of people that kind of I've seen in the comments here, and I know you guys probably share similar sentiments. It is gimmicky. It's not exactly maybe. It's not designed to have the best team win every year, and I don't know how feel about
it's too complicated. It's just too complicated for fans who are just now watching. Who are actually who actually take interest. I've shown a few. I've shown some of my friends NASCAR races and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, okay. Like, what is this whole playoffs thing?" And they're like, "I didn't get it. Can you explain the whole thing to me?" I'm like, "Okay. Well." After the first 3 races, there's 16 people, and then the final 12, like the bottom 4 get eliminated. But if you have a win, then you move on and stuff. And then I basically explained the whole thing to them, and they're like, "Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot to explain." Like, I remember I had one friend said, like, "Well, why don't they just run the entire season, and then whoever gets the most points is champion?" Like, I'm like, hey, you know what? We actually used to do that. I'm like, we used to do that actually before we started doing this. And then he's all like, well, why?
The urinating tree idea.
I think that's interesting. Does your friend watch other sports? I'm just curious. Like, is he a sports fan?
Well, yeah, pretty much, he's been into the usual sports, football, basketball, that sort of thing. But I sort of got him into NASCAR. I just showed him a few races. Yeah. I remember showing him the Talladega race. He was like, "Yeah, this is pretty exciting." Like, I think
that's interesting because I just feel like someone who watches other sports would be like, "Oh, of course, there's a playoff system." Like, because I just feel like they'd be used to it. They would expect it. So I think that's fun. That's why I think that's funny. But
I had to explain to him like it's motorsports. It's different.
Yeah,
Rowdy Smoke 14, I think, has it best here. Says either the Winston Cup point system, which is the pre-2004 pre-chase system, or the 2004 to 2006 chase. Because that chase, like, even in hindsight, really didn't bother me because more often than not, if you were in the top 3 or 4 for the whole season, you won the championship. So it was much more deserving compared to people forget in 2014, Harvick was really in the bottom half of the top 10 all year, while guys like Gordon, Jr., Keselowski, Logano just flat out were just the dominant cars.
Gordon would have won a 7 championship that year.
Well, but they were like the dominant cars until about, I'd say, Talladega, Martinsville or so. And they, they had some bad luck. And then Logano had bad luck in the final race. It's like, Harvick, I don't want to say he doesn't deserve it because I think that honor is bestowed to Kyle Busch in 2015. But I think he is less deserving than the 4 drivers who performed better than him throughout the whole season, I guess, is how I would put it.
I'm probably in the minority in this, but I really didn't have a problem with Kyle Busch's 2015 championship. I had a problem with NASCAR putting in that system to allow him to have a 2015 championship.
See, I'm kind of agreeing with you because I do feel like, to be gone that long, he did make up for it by winning so many races. He did kind of like he was given a rule to do it, and he went out and he did it. So
yeah, most people, they want to blame him and stuff. I'm like, it's the system.
No, it's completely the system. Yeah.
He can't help it that they're like, okay, well, if you make the top 30 and if you win, so and so amount of races and stuff, then
they said that thinking there's no way he can do it, and he proved them wrong. So.
Like, I knew immediately he would have a shot at this. He would have a shot at it.
I didn't have a problem with Kyle Busch's championship. I thought that year he was one of the top – the races he was in, he was one of the top 3 probably most deserving drivers. But I also agree – I think the rule – it's interesting that rule just kind of felt like it was made up on the fly, and I can understand why people don't like when rules like that would be made up on the fly. I think on the plus side, I think it did create an interesting storyline for kind of those dead summer weeks in the middle of the regular season that nobody talks about, because it gave us a reason to follow Kyle Busch's progress. I remember there was a race, I think one of the New Hampshire races, he looked like he was going to win, but he pushed it on fuel and ended up finishing like 25th because he ran out of fuel, and that knocked him or pushed him, made it a lot harder for him to get into the top 30. It was a big setback, and I remember that was interesting drama at the time. So I see the pros and cons to both of that there.
I want to go ahead and say something here. Someone said, any update on Radman or Kamikaze? Radman said that he's going to be very, very late. He will be here. Kamikaze, I don't know what's going on. I've sent him the email and I've sent him a message here.
He's had his technical issue, so hopefully everything works out and he's able to come on. Maybe that's the problem.
Okay, so 3 months ago.
That's the biggest troll of the week.
That'd be funny. That'd be great. Hey, we're the ones getting views out of it because we get to put his name in the description. And
someone said that KG said he would join at 6. That's what somebody said in the
6. Chat. What time zone are we talking?
Mountain time. He lives in Mountain Time, so
yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
In an hour, in less than an hour.
I sent him an email invitation, so he needs to check it.
AB68 said that Radman is racing in the Nork Indy 500. So.
Okay. Well, good luck, Radman. We'll see you when you're done.
That's actually how I first heard of him. Was I just turned on a Nork race one day to have some background noise, and
which, he's used to us being on Wednesday. So, but this is the only day that was going to work out for Kamikaze to be here. So
yeah,
yeah. And then I'll respond in the chat too. But also AB68. Yeah, I saw. No problem, man.
I'm going to try sending it again. He said he didn't get it, so I'm going to try inviting him again.
Oh, so he might be here any minute.
What do we want to do to pass the time? Anyone got any jokes?
So,
I mean, I don't know.
I'm trying to think of what I can say without, getting in trouble. That's the problem for me.
Okay, he said he's going to use his desktop. So apparently he's got a desktop computer he can use.
Nice.
Let's see. I'm sending him the invite.
Tag Nation said he thought David Land was going to come on. I would like for him to come on next week. I've sent him some DMs. So
everybody go spam David Land's Twitter and tell him to look us up.
Have we ever said that we've never said he's coming on. We want to have him.
I said I would try. I did not
desperately want him.
Yeah, he's in Indianapolis all week though, right? I saw a couple of his bit posts. He's been at the Indy 500 stuff, so
yeah,
I don't know if he'd be available.
I saw a few people were spamming him with my name because I left 1 or 2 comments about the stream. I wasn't even asking him. People just left comments. I'm like, no, guys, no. And then they didn't know who I was, so that made it even worse.
So let's talk a little bit more about the All-Star Race itself, because we haven't really got into that much.
Best race ever.
Really?
It was a lot better than I was hoping for.
It went about as well as it could have possibly gone. I'll be honest, but
that race reminded me of NASCAR in the early 2000s. A lot of side-by-side racing, passing and stuff. I was like, hold on, wait, someone's here.
We see some hair.
Yeah, that's a good joke there, Tristan.
Oh my God, am I in?
Yes,
you are in. Yes. You are in.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Now the chat's about to go crazy.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, we're not liars anymore. Woohoo.
What's up, man?
Oh my God. If I had known that this wasn't just going to be sheer stupidity of the movie, but it was also going to be the director's cut, I wouldn't have even agreed to this. Because goodness gracious, this has been a tough week.
My condolences for your computer, by the way.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's right here. The hard disk is right here. So if anyone's got a magic wand, please send it here. North Dakota, please. Magic wand, anyone?
I live a few states over, so it might be a one-day drive.
Well, unfortunately, my computer proness is going to go into video editing on Sony Vegas. That's about as far as I can go. I can't help you there.
So, any updates on Ty Dillon?
He's ignoring me now. So,
Oh, so it's my
For
turn. to
good
go.
reason, probably.
I've said this before. I don't know if I said it on the stream, but like a few months back, the Dylans were at the local Bass Pro Shops, and I really missed a great opportunity because I met Ty, and I still haven't released this footage yet. I met Ty there, and I really had an opportunity to say something like, "Oh, hey, I'm KamikazeGames here with Ty Dillon." I really could have said that. I really could have and should have.
Hey, I'll be at Chicagoland, so I got a chance.
Yeah, I'll be.
I might still get to go to Chicagoland, but I'm not gonna. I don't want to confirm or deny anything because I know that I'm going to get plenty of interactions on the old social media if I do say yes or no. So
Yeah, I thought what was the most funny thing about that whole situation was on Twitter. They were like, "You should be on like a FBI watch list or something."
Oh, you want?
To be honest,
You want
maybe I
robot?
should be. Oh yeah, I might have to turn off my camera just to see if the bandwidth, you know.
You have a unique voice. I think they know who you are.
Oh yeah,
And I think the icon.
unmistakable drawl.
It fits your icon here though that we're seeing instead though, so it kind of still
That is
matches.
true.
Yeah.
It's-
Well, people must be made aware that Kamikaze's on because we're now up to 86 people here.
Yes.
Sweet deal.
Get
But
up
only
to-
half as many likes. Come on now, folks.
Yeah, what are you
click
doing?
that like
Click the
button.
like button, guys. Come on.
So Kamikaze, you've been one of our most hotly requested guests since we started doing it. Or I didn't start this. I shouldn't take credit for it. Danny and
Seriously?
Iceberg started. Yeah, you've been one
Not
of
the best you can do.
Yeah,
Yikes.
that's what I said. I was like, come on, guys. We can get anybody. Social media is here. We can talk to anybody we want. But they wanted you.
Exactly.
So we're here now. And I thought we were just now starting to talk about the All-Star Race. So I thought that'd be fun for you to jump right in. What did you think of the All-Star Race this year?
You know, I made the big long 20-minute video. What was that? 2 days ago, maybe. And I really got all of my opinions out in there. To be 100% honest, I enjoyed the race. I'm not going to lie. But it just didn't feel right. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I get you.
There's still an issue with the fact that there's good passing going on, but the passing's happening in the field. If you're a leader, clean air is great for you. No one can touch you when you've got clean air.
Yeah, no one's catching the leader once he gets out. Yeah, once Harvick cleared Suarez on that final lap, it was over.
A half-second lead is what used to be a 4-second lead, you know?
Yes, exactly.
It's kind of
I
how
mean,
it was in the mid-2000s.
If you can't pass.
I'm not going to complain too much per se because I don't want to be like, oh, you want close racing. Well, there's your close racing. You're still complaining. I don't want to be like that, you know?
Yeah, Kenny Wallace will come after you.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I made a response to him, and I'm just waiting for like 3 months from now for him to actually say something back.
He had
And
the
just be like-
stupidest argument, man. That was the dumbest argument
Yeah.
I've ever heard. And then at the end, he brought up his kids like, geez, I got grandbabies and all. I'm like,
Yeah.
what's that have to do with anything?
Yeah, I think I was like, yeah, good for you. What's
I
up?
saw-
Yeah, he's got grandbabies racing. You got babies racing. I think that's the bigger problem than people complaining if your infant children is driving a race car.
I mean, it is Kenny Wallace, so that lineage.
There's
I
a reason we don't
suddenly-
see him on TV anymore these days.
I suddenly want to see a tag team wrestling match between Kamikaze and the Iceberg versus Ty Dillon and Kenny Wallace.
That'd be pretty sick.
That'd be the top build match right there, main event style.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
push that for WrestleMania, Vince McMahon.
Well, I mean, I think when you have Ty Dillon, I think Richard Childress comes as like, you know, a joint package. So someone would have to hold his watch.
But I mean, you know, other than that, you know, it's when you hear this package on paper, it sounds ridiculous. But when you see it in practice, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
The big thing I thought I liked the package, and I said this I think in a tweet. I just said if nothing else, I honestly wish they'd throw out the current 1.5 mile package and just run this All-Star Race package the rest of the year, and then as soon as possible make proper adjustments so we can take the restrictor plates off and run something like the X3 car that Radman's talked about and all that stuff. Something like that would be great. So I love this more than the current package that we see on 1.5 miles.
Here's the
But
thing.
at the same time, I just think it's interesting that so many people were complaining about the speed, as in like the cars don't look fast. They're only going 170 miles an hour. What happened to speed? And I just had to sit back and think like nobody after a race sits there and is like, man, that was a great NASCAR race. The cars look just so fast. Nobody ever says that.
As I'm watching the race and I'm seeing how close it is, I'm paying more attention to how close this race is. I really didn't even notice a big difference in the times or the laps or anything.
Yeah, and I get like people are grumpy or don't like the whole that the drivers basically flat out not having to lift and it takes some of the driver's skill. We still did see drivers like Kurt Busch spun out all by himself. The cars weren't easy to handle or anything, but I can understand, and that's honestly my biggest complaint is that it is very forced, and it does take some amount of driver input away, I think. Which, I mean, I don't want to make any jokes here, but AJ Allmendinger was running 4th in the All-Star race. Let's just let that sit there for a second. So,
he won one of the opens. I was like,
Allmendinger living up to his name.
Just pointing this out here, I think Kamikaze has both muted his microphone and his camera. So,
he maybe has an important phone call. That's okay.
Okay.
I will say, like, also, I would like this package without the plates, but also they also run the tapered spacer too still, so that takes horsepower away, it takes speed away. I think if they got rid of that and had this package where they would have to slow down, like because they'd be going pretty fast still, I think they'd still be well over 200 and have to go down to like 160 in the corners. I think that would help out a lot too.
Yeah.
Just, I just think anything they can do, they restrictor plates at 1.5 miles. I don't know when Radman comes on, he'll probably back me up there. Restrictor plates at 1.5 miles is not the long-term answer for NASCAR. That can't be a thing.
No,
that sounds ridiculous to me. I mean, all they have to do is just take away side force, right? And then,
side force, the aero ducts. I don't know how the big spoilers would come into play, because I think part of the key is getting air to the nose on the car behind somebody. So I feel like the big plate, or not the big plate, the big spoiler, I don't know how those would be needed to be adjusted, if they'd need to get rid of those or what, or if they'd keep them the way. I don't really know that much, but I just know a lot of people like the aero ducts, the spacer, all that stuff. The restrictor plates just have to go, and whatever small adjustments they need to make from there, that's the way to do it. Yeah,
and then another thing I noticed is that the cars, they couldn't draft up. Like, that's still a problem. Like, there's still a gap of air and stuff, and they can't really, like, they're behind the car, but they still can't really, like, draft up behind them and stuff. That was also another problem.
Not completely.
I like how right on the restart, we see the 2-car tandem until we get to the back straightaway.
It reminded me of Daytona in like 2012. That's how they used to run it for that year. There was a lot of 2-car tandem for brief spurts, and then did be back to like just pack
to get that run when you can.
Update on Radman. He's running 7th right now with 16 to go.
Oh, Radman.
He'll be on soon.
He's going live from Victory Lane.
7th out of how many?
Waiting for it. He's on the lead lap, I think. Let's see.
Is this live on YouTube somewhere? Or where
just look up Nork and it'll be like the 3rd thing down. I'm just, let's see. 24th is 78 laps down.
I'm gonna pull this up. Like, we might actually watch a little bit of that while we're streaming.
Hey, Kamikaze, I know you do some iRacing. Why aren't you in that league?
Well, I kind of lost my computer, so.
Oh, well,
yeah. Yeah, this is my gaming and YouTube computer, so I kind of lost that ability for a couple days. I would have, but yeah.
Oh, this is really weird. I'm on my YouTube here right now. Apparently, there's a new messages thing here on YouTube.
Is there?
Weird. Wait, no, it just told me introducing a new way to share 4 months ago. Gosh, I'm just now seeing this. That's weird.
See, I don't know if we pitted or what, but Radman's 14th now and a lap down. He's right in front of Lombard.
Oh my goodness, so many people. I should get on iRacing at this point. I didn't hear that much about it until like the last year. I feel like everyone I know, everyone I talk to or watch on YouTube now is on iRacing, which maybe
I love doing iRacing. I just can't stream it or record or anything. My computer cannot handle doing recording while it does that. Rusty Wallers is here, and he said NASCAR podcast on DannyBTalks sent me here.
I want to clarify in the comments really quick, guys. I know his computer's dead as a door. Well, someone said dead as a doorknob. I was like asking before it died. So, but yeah, I've wanted to do iRacing for years, but it's just really expensive. So.
Yes, iRacing is very fun, but it's just super expensive. I've only got like 5 different tracks, and it costs probably $200.
That's a lot.
If you just do it like a little bit here and there, it's not so bad. But gosh, if you wanted to get everything, you'd be dropping a bunch into it all at one time.
I knew it was pricey. I didn't know how pricey. Yeah, that sounds a little more than I was thought.
Well, I got the full year package because it's cheaper, and I'm going to be playing it all year. And that's $120 for the whole year.
I usually just get it for like 3 months at a time, and then after that 3 months, I decide, okay, how much was I really using it? Am I going to use it anymore? Like, if it's going to be a time where I'm going to be really busy, I'll be like, okay, don't get it for a little bit.
I miss the days where you could just play a game and, all the paint schemes and the tracks were there. So, even on like NASCAR Heat, you got to buy new paint schemes and stuff. And I don't know.
Not if you just go ahead and which edition is it you can pay for and just get it all at one time? Because that's what I ended up doing. I cannot remember though.
I haven't played NASCAR.
Oh no. If you go ahead and just get the season pass when it comes out, then you just get everything as it all comes out.
Oh really? I didn't hear about that. Wow.
Yep. If you get the season pass, you just get everything as they come out. That's what I did.
How much is it?
Wasn't too much more. I mean, you're already paying. You already. It's like if you're like me, whenever a game comes out like that, I pre-order of GameStop because I can go to my local Kroger, and they usually have these times when you buy gift cards, you get 4 times your fuel points, and then so I can just go ahead and buy like a $50 gift card, and I'm going to be getting like whatever 50 times 4 is. That's how much fuel points I'll be getting. So it's like 200 fuel points right there.
Oh, okay.
So we're completely off topic now.
Yeah.
We're talking about we just talked about the All-Star Race. I think we should also talk a little more about Kevin Harvick's dominance, if there's any more to add to it. But I'll just remind us all again that I was right in picking him because that was such a far off pick to have. So.
You must have eyes on the back of your head that look towards the future, my man. How did you see that coming?
I had foreseen it. But yeah, it's impressive to say the least. But I like I said, I think I said it at the start of this earlier. I don't know. My memory's like Dory's at this point. But I am rooting for whoever in the playoffs has 0 wins because I want to see someone with no wins like win the championship without over Harvick with 16 or whatever.
Guys, I missed what happened, but I just saw that RadMan was like 7 laps down, so I don't know what happened to him.
He turned off the game because he realized he has to come onto our stream. He didn't want to miss this.
Yeah, if he's out of race, he needs to get on.
It's Flying Gator said he crashed.
Oh no!
Press F to pay respects.
Well,
that's where I turn it off then.
Yeah, holy crap, though. Did Kenseth drop in that race? 6 teams sucks. Yeah, that was a rough one.
I bet when you saw him hit the middle and fall back, you just wanted to end it all, didn't you?
No, I mean, he was up front for about 2 laps, like battling for like second, third. And I'm like, okay, he's chilling up there. And then, I don't know. I don't know. I'll be honest. I was really excited about a month ago, or no, how long ago was it when Matt Kenseth announced he was coming back? It was almost a month ago. About a month ago when they announced he was coming back. That was extremely exciting. I was thrilled beyond belief. But then I've come to realize since then I've come down a little bit. I think he ran okay. He didn't run well at Kansas. He was going to finish 24th or something until that wreck, and then Charlotte here, he finished. I think he finished 14th. That's just because he didn't get any major damage in the couple of wrecks. So I'm kind of iffy on the rest of the season as a Matt Kenseth fan. Part of me almost wishes he hadn't come back, but part of me thinks that there's still good things that can happen. So
see, you're at where we were as junior fans last year, where you just know every week is gonna suck, but you're like a drug addict and you keep going back.
Yeah,
keep coming back. I actually made a prediction. I was like, he'll at least win 1 race before he retires.
Daytona.
Yeah, like that didn't happen.
Daytona or maybe like a fuel mileage race.
Yeah.
Whereas me and Jarrett, we're just like, come on, Richmond Xfinity. Come on, Junior, do something.
Yeah.
Did y'all hear Chase Elliott's going to be running Xfinity races for Gallagher's car this year? Did y'all hear that?
He's going to be at Charlotte this weekend in the Hooters car. and then he's going to be at a few other tracks. I think Daytona was one. Bristol is going to be one.
Yes.
So Bristol one's exciting. I might go to that one.
You know what? I think Kamikaze can agree with me on this. I would rather have seen that one guy. What was his name again? He won the ARCA Series title last year, and then he doesn't have a ride now. What was his name again?
Who could that be? I wonder if I have his championship shirt in my closet.
Oh.
Drum roll.
I always forget his name. I know it's Austin, but then I can't really say the
Cindric?
Austin Theriault.
No, better not be Cindric.
No. No way.
I think it starts with TH. It's like
Terrio?
Theriault, however you say it.
Ah, see, there you go.
Didn't Austin Theriault run trucks at some point?
He got hurt at Vegas, yeah.
Oh, there we go. Here I got the shirt. Yep.
Yeah, see, I still find it odd that he doesn't have a ride. Why?
That's just the way the sport is. I mean, you can be so good 1 second, and then if the cards don't play in your favor, you're done. Like in my video that I posted today, 2 of the drivers that I put in there for 5 NASCAR drivers you forgot about was 2 drivers that should have been so good right now, James Busher and Dylan Kwasniewski. Both of those 2 had showed so much potential and had sponsorship backing them, but one little thing went wrong and it's over.
Yeah, I forgot how good Dylan Kwasniewski was, man. That guy was
the only driver to win both the West and East Series K&N championships.
Yeah, how do you flop after winning those 2, man?
I think he kind of falls into that same trap that Gray Gaulding kind of got into. He took a step too far and he went from he didn't go into trucks like he probably should have. He went straight into Nationwide Series.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, also Kwasniewski also jumped up to H. Scott in Xfinity, and we all know how that turned out for
Boom.
the
True.
whole team.
I said this too once when James Busher left his father-in-law's team. That became like a curse on that team.
Yeah, didn't Reed Swordson? He used to drive for them, and I think it was like 2011, and he got released like halfway through the season.
That whole team had so much potential. I mean, you look back to the way they had Dollar General, great clips as sponsors. They had these big companies behind them. Poof, gone.
Look who's here.
Hello.
Well,
Hello, man.
Well, you had a wreck.
I don't know what I did. I'm lost.
You were distracted. You was like, I just want to be on that live stream.
Oh, I had to do a Nork iRacing race, and they wrecked like 10 times, so there was like 15 cautions. And
we were watching.
Yeah. I was getting annoyed. So then it wasn't even finished. I just ran into the wall, and I was like, thank God, and I just stopped. And
you were doing good though. I think you were up to what, 4th?
I was leading, and then someone came down on me and we got wrecked. Then I stayed at the back the entire race, but people kept wrecking. So the race just kept going longer and longer. I'm just starving here. I'm just like, I need to get this done with. So by 8 o'clock, we were only like halfway through, and I'm like, all right, this is getting annoying. Then it goes green. And then just now it was like lap 100. I just drove myself into the wall, and I was like, good luck, everyone. And just and I left.
You just gotta love iRacing, don't you?
Yeah, I like it when I race with my friends, but the thing is, we don't do IndyCar a lot, so I don't think a lot of people were used to it, and they tried driving way over their head, and
I think that's one thing we got to do. Like some of the ones in this little group that have iRacing, we need to get together and do something sometime.
It's fun. It's definitely a lot of fun.
I'm cheap. That's my problem.
Yeah, me too.
I can relax now. All right, I'm back.
Yeah, what were we
Everyone's
talking about?
So we kind of gave a little bit of our thoughts on the All-Star Race. So we've kind of set our piece on it a little bit. So we'd like to hear maybe what you got to say now.
I definitely thought it was good and entertaining and a lot of fun.
Probably better than you originally gave it credit for.
I gave it a 9 out of 10 on my race review.
No, I'm talking about like before we actually saw it. You were kind of a little skeptical on it at first.
Well, I think
we
all were a bit.
I knew. I think I knew it'd be fun. I just didn't like the way I'm more thinking about the future. I'm not thinking about that race. That race is meaningless to me. I'm thinking about the future. So it was fun.
Last week was meme race, so.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It was always going to be a meme race and just something they can test out for spoiler or air duct or whatever they were doing. But I was not excited for it for like if they would use plates in the future because they're not very detailed on what it's a test session, but they're not giving an indication of like what kind of racing they're going for. If you put a plate on there, you're getting different kind of racing than if you don't put a plate on there. They said they want something in the middle between a super speedway and a short track, which is an intermediate race, but you have got to be more detailed with what they want. So I thought it was a good race. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was entertaining. I would not mind it being the All-Star Race package year in, year out if they wanted. Because of logistical reasons, I don't think they can take it away from Charlotte. If they wanted to make it a plate race or something that would really group up the guys and not let the leader get away, then I'm fine with that. I just did not want that to be the. And I think I guess as the week went on, more and more people were coming out with the same thing as like it's a good race, but we got to tweak it more and not allow that. So
personally, me being selfish, since I'm going to be there this weekend, I'd love to see it at Charlotte again this weekend, but that's not going to happen. I would, however, like to see it run at Michigan and maybe Pocono or Indianapolis just as a test for those two.
Yeah. I was talking with Liam, who's on the X3 video, and he was talking about how if we notice the first stage of the Open was not the most entertaining. And it's because the sun was still kind of beaming on the track. The guys weren't able to go full throttle. So we saw Eric Jones just go straight to the back because he was so tight because he couldn't stay on the throttle. So the package really, I was talking to him, was like, it's going to work at night. The track's completely cool and everyone can go full throttle. It's going to work. In the day, we actually might have to slow down the cars more because the goal of that package is to get the guys to be full throttle. If you don't get them full throttle, let's say if this was a 400-mile race, if you don't get them full throttle, they're just going to spread out because everyone's trying to lift at certain points, and then no one's going to be able to pass. So that's the tweaking point that I saw, at least.
Yeah, that was when people said run it at places like Indy or Pocono. I just don't know how. I think you're right. I don't know how that would translate. And I think I heard it from you, and I heard it from other people too about the day to night issue being substantial. And I think that makes sense. And I made the comment earlier. I was surprised by how many people were complaining about this package, complaining about the fact that just the speed of the cars. I didn't see. I get if they slowed them down to 150, 160 around Charlotte, it would be noticeable, and I think it would be hard. It would be different to watch. I don't know if it'd be better or anything, but I thought it was interesting how that's a lot of people their breaking point or the what really turned them off on this package was just the speed, and I thought that was kind of unfair. But I made the comment I would be okay with them running this package the rest of this year on every mile-and-a-half track, and with minor tweaks. But basically, I'd be okay with the plates this season until they can find a solution that doesn't involve plates. I like this package more than what I've seen at the mile-and-a-halfs this year so far. Even though I thought we've had a couple lousy mile-and-a-half races, like Vegas didn't have a whole lot happening, but Texas was okay. The Kansas race, I actually don't really remember the Kansas race very well. I feel like that one was boring too because I don't remember it. But so I like the All-Star Race package better than the current mile-and-a-half. I think I agree. I think we all kind of have a consensus here. It's the restrictor plates at mile-and-a-halfs are not the future. It's not. It shouldn't be what NASCAR strives for. They should strive to stay away from that and take some of like the aero tweaks from the All-Star Race and move that forward. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was. I think some people may have gotten a misconception that I'm thinking of what I want later this season, or I'm thinking of what I want in 2019. I could not care less about 2018, 2019. I'd say if you want to put the plates on it, put the plates on it. I'm just saying Gen 7. Like we have a Gen 7 car that says we're going to put plates at intermediate tracks. I'm worried. But if you tell me next year we're going to put plates at Charlotte, Indianapolis, Pocono, Michigan, I'm like, okay, they're testing it more. But that's my we just haven't gotten any confirmation. That's why I'm very hesitant, because I just want to make sure, like, what are we aiming for in the future? I mean, I think we all know the Coke 600 is going to be below par, just because the way the old package is. And another misconception was, so you like the old package? No, I despise the old package. I'm just saying we should strive for something and take our time and say, this is what we should be by 2020 or 2021, whenever that car comes out. That's what I'm looking at.
I think you're right, because nobody really made like a set goal. Nobody's really established. I think that's a fair reason for people to be somewhat concerned after this weekend. Is there's concern that the fans like this package too much. and that becomes what NASCAR actually tries to set forth, because NASCAR hasn't laid out any definitive goals. And because of that, you feel like, in fact, I think it was Steve O'Donnell had a quote that said, like, we're going to look at fan reaction to this race to determine our future steps. And I'm like, I really liked, and most people really like the All-Star race, but if that's specifically exactly what they're going to do, I think you're going to have a lot of blowback. So I hope they don't take the results of this race too literally, if that makes sense.
I think
concerning.
I think what they should do is just, if next year, just take that package and put it on a track that's bumpy and old and the asphalt's terrible. See what it does there.
So Atlanta?
So Atlanta, yeah. Put it there, and even if the race is terrible, just say it's a wing experience. But then people are going to get mad because it's a points race, and it could affect the outcome of the championship. So you got to be very careful with it.
Atlanta is literally just bumpy Charlotte. That's all it is. So.
Yeah, they've been testing during points races since 2015, whether it be Kentucky or Michigan, and Indianapolis, I think, was one too. So
Kentucky may actually be a decent track to try that too.
Yeah, because isn't that like bumpy as hell on the backstretch and stuff? Because I know they repaved the corners, but I don't know did they do the whole track?
I don't think so.
I hate Kentucky in general, so anything that can make it better would be completely fine by my mark.
Yeah.
I did see earlier Tyler Johnson asked Kamikaze, what are your thoughts on Kansas? He said he thought you'd love it.
Objectively, that's a good finish with a almost last lap pass. But same.
I think we're losing a little bit.
Yeah, we lost it.
It's the North Dakota.
This is North Dakota internet. It's brutal.
What's the North Dakota saying? We're not the best Dakota.
I did see you guys I think I saw on Twitter you put that you guys are #1 in being the most drunk state this year. So
yes,
that's something.
North Dakota is the drunkest state in America. Whoop whoop.
That's why we need a NASCAR track there. That's why we need a NASCAR track there. Just everyone drunk.
So here's my question for you. Like, what's the racing scene like up there? Is there any dirt tracks or anything? What happens there?
It's actually not as bad as you might think. The tracks are really small. They're they're not even half miles. They're and mostly hobby stock. But you do get a couple of wing sprint cars that come through. But it's mostly hobby stock. I mean, I haven't been to a race in a good 3 years, but the last time that I turned out, there was 70 cars, so It was pretty, and that's in a small populated area, so not bad, but not great.
Speaking of things like that, I didn't get a chance to go to it, but they did the short track nationals at Bristol Motor Speedway again for the second year in a row. Didn't sound like that, I didn't go, but it also sounds like not a lot of people went out to that either. And I mean, this was like a multiple day thing. They saw it on pay-per-view. But one interesting moment I saw come out of that was this wreck that happened on Friday night. I don't know if you all saw it on Twitter or anything, but this late model literally ripped into shreds there. Like there was a car that spun out, and you got two late models coming down the straightaway. One starts to back out, and this one just collects. I don't know if it's composite body on it or what, but there's nothing left of this car after that, just a chassis really, and that's it. Driver was fine from what I understand, but gosh, it was a violent wreck though.
Hey, getting really back a little bit to what we were talking about before. They're talking about Atlanta. I have a bit of an unpopular opinion, but the last few years, I think Atlanta's racing has been lacking for what its standard is. I think that they should repave it now and just get that out of the way, and then race during. I don't know when they should race, but just they should repave it, because the racing now is not what it used to be there. I think it's almost too worn down.
I agree with you. They're literally logistically placed to be perfect to do any maintenance like that they need to, because they get their race done in February, done and over, nothing more. They literally have nothing to worry about. Well,
they could have it done in February and then change the race date to be later in the year, just in case, because I know that recently they've been having more weather stuff, because I know that, down there, a quarter inch of snow basically shuts down the state. So
And meanwhile, who knows what Kamikaze gets in North Dakota.
Hell, even in Illinois, we get a bunch of shit.
Oh my goodness gracious! You should have seen this winter here. We were there'd be a night where it was just perfectly fine. Over the next day, it would snow half a foot. The next day, most of it'd be melted.
Yep, that's the same with us.
I don't think I've seen that much snow in my life.
It's sickening.
Tennessee was kind of similar too. So
yeah, we had once this past winter where it snowed maybe 7 inches or so, and I'm thinking, all right, my classes will be canceled, all this stuff, because it's about 4 o'clock. Wake up the next day and I can see the grass on the ground. I'm like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me?
Hey, so I'm looking in the comments right now. Some people are asking about the charter system. I know that's gotten some news.
Someone mentioned Rob Kaufman's comments, which I just looked back up because I wanted to refresh my memory.
Yeah, what exactly did he say? What exactly did he say?
He was replying to an announcement that I think who was it? Was it JJ Yaley going to be in the field for this next race, and it was going to up the field to 41 cars, but he was driving for a non-competitive team, and his comment was, "Why bother?" Basically. And so,
oh no, a small team. Hide, everyone. Oh.
I wonder if anyone saw Brian Keselowski's.
I was just about to look that up because someone left a comment on one of my videos that said Brian Keselowski is about to be really well known for what he said to Rob Kaufman.
Yeah, because he said I definitely devalued the sport. I definitely did.
Okay,
I'm gonna retweet that. Then I'm gonna find it.
Okay, actually, there's a lot here. Can I rate them off for y'all?
Yes, you can.
Let's see. Okay, well, here's some of those dog. Okay, so it starts with, and it's like 1, 2. It's gonna be about 6 tweets here. So let's just bear with me, and I'm gonna rate them all off here, and let y'all just think because I'm reading this off here. So apparently, I devalued the sport by building my own car, paying the entry fee, making it free tech in the first try, and racing the best of the sport and into the Daytona 500. Jesus, no wonder fans are leaving so fast with a-holes like that running the RTA. Look at me devaluing the sport. Such a shame. And a picture of him getting pushed by his brother Brad. Again, I should be ashamed of myself driving billionaires' value down. Oh, and it was Kaufman's cars that started the wreck that ended my day. Maybe they shouldn't have been on the racetrack devaluing my race. Having been in racing my entire life, knowing nothing but racing inside and out, and literally having it in my blood, it drives me nuts when people new to sport question my knowledge because of their own ignorance. On the flip side, it makes me feel really happy when people trust me with their kids' lives in a race car and their money not being frivolously spent. With never having much money to spend myself, I've always tried to get the most out of what I've had to work with. What he means by that is that he's worked a lot with the Richard Petty driving experience.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Somebody get Brad's brother in a car after that.
I think someone replied like, well, no wonder you're not in the car. You're not marketable with like stupid comments like that. I'm like, what? Like, you made a good point, man.
See, you can't have an opinion in modern day NASCAR. You have to be a complete shill.
I mean, I've always thought that, maybe that's the thing that really held Brad back. I mean, no, sorry, not Brad, but Brian back because, Brad got with Junior. Brad got with the sponsors. Brian, he was with his small team and sponsors.
Well,
sponsors didn't want to come into it.
I think somebody had put something on there because I'd only seen stuff, but something like, oh, maybe he didn't get in because of his looks. Have you seen fucking Brad Keselowski? He looks like a fucking horse. Like, seriously. I mean, I'll be honest with it here.
We should have an episode one week where we talk about the most attractive NASCAR drivers.
We should have an episode where we put pictures up and just have me be completely ruthless with them.
Well, if we're talking about attractive NASCAR drivers, for me, it's going to be Danica Patrick because, of course, that's the only woman there's been in a little bit.
We're talking about current drivers?
Nope.
Hey, look, guys, I'm Paul Menard.
2006 Casey Kane, all day, every day. Nothing beats him. You're a Hurricane commercial, nothing.
Old dreamy eyes.
One of the ugliest drivers right now is Cole Custer. That guy looks like a freaking toad. I swear.
Why not come on these things? My goodness.
Somebody said Newman mad thick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he looks like he's like in an astronaut suit.
Stupid.
I mean, I like Newman and all, but the running joke is that he has no neck.
No.
He doesn't.
He's like discount Kale Yarbrough.
I've seen funny photoshops of Newman as Shrek, and it's hilarious.
Yikes.
Oh, that was because of Kyle Busch's ogre comments.
Oh yeah. All right, let's get back on topic here.
Yeah.
Tyler, I know why you said Haley Deegan.
Let's
Yeah,
just,
is it Tyler under 18?
let's
I recognize that name. He knows how much I like Haley Deegan as a race car driver, so that's why he put that on there.
As a race car driver, that's key.
I think we need to like sprint away from that topic right now.
Like, one more.
No, she finished. No, she finished 4th in her K&N race. No, I'm not sprinting away from that. She's doing
The pastor's son says Mike Helton is thick.
Have you seen him in person? He wears
Yes,
his
I
shirt
have.
so unbuttoned. You can see basically all he's got. If he had boobs, you would see some cleavage on Mike Helton. Let me just say, right there, he wears his shirt unbuttoned down to like his halfway down his stomach.
He looks like Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park. No,
No.
actually, true story. At Chicagoland in the infield, I saw him partying, and he was doing Jello shots with fans. And by the end of it, he's walking back with like 2 full glasses, like this big, glasses full of beer, just looking at his feet as he walks up to his motorcade thing, and had Pemberton drive him back to his place. Like the dude just like he used to party it up all the time, but I think nowadays since
Budget
there's
cuts.
budget cuts, that and the fact that me being there drives the average age down about 10 years.
No, I mean, have you guys, talk about big NASCAR drivers? Have y'all not seen Mike Harmon?
Yeah, that guy's pretty huge.
He's a big boy.
I mean, he fills out that fire suit, guys.
He looks like he could be a 90s bouncer.
There will be no disrespect of Mike Harmon on this stream. I will protest this.
Hey, I'm just saying, boy's mad thick. So
Hey, he's hard to pass. That's what I would say.
more downforce.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
No, but speaking of the female drivers this weekend, there were some pretty good performances. Diggin she finished 4th, top 5 finish, and then Natalie Decker, she finished in the top 10 at in her ARCA race, but there's only 10 competitive teams, so I don't know if you can really count that. And Danica Patrick made it into the last 9. So
Press off to pay respect.
No, remember it's press 7.
Yeah.
I need to see more from Natalie Decker. I've been saying it. I got to see more because
Yeah,
their only top 5 finish was Daytona.
yeah,
So
yeah. I give you that.
How does the point system in ARCA work? Because I looked at it the other day, and it just
I think
it has to
it's
be
the way
different.
they don't do a playoff, I don't think. So that is like NASCAR from years ago. So
Yeah, there's no chase, but if you run the full season, you get to like 600 bonus points.
Did you guys see Decker's Instagram post when they were announcing the NASCAR Next class?
No,
She put a photo and said ARCA now, and I was like, that's petty.
honestly,
That's petty right there.
I'm really surprised that she wasn't also part of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Go on Yahoo and look up Natalie Decker and just scroll down a little bit, and you'll know
Yahoo?
why. Yeah, it's not Google. Yahoo.
Who the hell goes on Yahoo?
Exactly.
Anymore.
Okay.
My brother changed my computer, and now I'm fucking stuck on it. I'd rather do DuckDuckGo.
What about Natalie Decker? What'd she do?
On her Instagram, she put when they were announcing the same morning they were announcing NASCAR Next class. She put a post and captioned it ARCA now. And I was like, damn.
Next, like when I think it was like 2015, right?
There are some good drivers in there this year, though. I'll admit.
No, don't even get me started on what's his name, that Riley Herbst guy. Don't even get me started on that.
No,
guy.
not him, but Zane. I'm very, very
Nice
high on
name.
Zane Smith.
Oh yeah, Zane Smith.
Zane Smith, Derek Kraus, Haley Deegan. I really like those 3.
Yeah, but why is Riley Herbst in there? Of all guys, why he's got to be in there, man?
The name alone.
He drives for Joe Gibbs, right?
Yeah, but he should be
He's not very
dominating. He's driving for Joe Gibbs in the ARCA series. He should be dominating every race.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't even finish in the top 10 in last week's race and stuff. I don't know if he got into a wreck before, but I mean, he should be doing better. But yeah, Zane Smith though, that kid, he seems like he's the real deal. I think
This is his best season so far. If he could put like another season together like this, then I'll really believe him. Let me look him up. I want to see how old this kid is real quick.
Is he a rookie this year or has
No. He raced last year too.
Okay, Jared. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you're seeing Danica 2.0.
16 years old.
Yeah.
I really like that kid.
Mm-hmm. Just want to put that out there.
If you got it, flaunt it. But
oh, don't get me wrong, I don't mind, but like, it's like sort of with Danica, because I saw somebody put on like Twitter. This woman was like, "Oh, where are all of Danica's haters now? She's in the top 10 for IndyCar," and it's like,
congratulations.
That's qualifying. Qualifying is completely different.
Wow, big deal. I mean, she is.
The normies are out in force.
No, IndyCar fits her. It's always fit her.
Yeah,
She performs better there than NASCAR.
Yeah,
well,
came here for the money.
I was talking about this in a group of men. I mean, she's literally like the same argument can be said about her as it can be said for Dario Franchitti. He was just meant for IndyCar. NASCAR was not what he was meant for.
Yeah.
Franchitti looked freaking awful. I mean, if you put him and LePage head to head, I think LePage might win.
That's saying a lot.
Well, don't get me wrong. Like Franchitti had a few times when he showed some, slight potential. But I feel like even if he had stayed around longer than just 2008, he'd have been about Juan Pablo Montoya at best.
Tyler Johnson said that he's never heard Kamikaze's opinions on the Monster Girls.
Oh yeah, I've never heard that.
What's wrong with Monster Girls? Actually, hang on. Why can't there be Monster Guys too? Come on now. Come on. We need to get some representation up in here. What's this all?
I mean, I don't mind them at all. When I watched them go by, I was like, wow. Monster never stay a while.
I'd never seen that many Monster Energy girls in one place during the All-Star race. They had one designated for like every single driver during introductions.
Yeah.
I'd never seen that.
I don't know why, but when I just hear Monster guys, I'm thinking of guys kind of like us, like gamers who are drinking Monster, just like just gonna be at the racetrack, like at the little Monster Energy place, hooked up with computers, like streaming on Twitch or something.
Just a bunch of Fortnite streamers everywhere, just hunched over in their desks.
Now I want to see that at a race, because if you go to a race, you always see there's like this big booth that Monster Energy has, and like there's people handing out free Monsters, or they're bumping this music. There's Monster Energy girls there, and then just see these guys over there streaming Fortnite or something. Fun time.
Well, heck, you see it like at the race this past weekend. It's like you see all these you see all like the Monster Girls going out holding signs and stuff, and you have all this music playing, and then it's like you look in the crowd and it's like kids everywhere. It just doesn't fit. I don't know why. It just doesn't fit. Let's see. Oh wow, Kyle Newton Kane fan here misses the Sprint Girls because they were more modest. Yeah,
I'm just glad they don't make all the pit reporters wear fire suits. Does NBC still do that? Because that pisses me off. When I see Marty Snyder sitting there like just in the garage area with a fire suit on with the NBC logo, I'm like, it's the most dumbest thing I've ever seen anyone wear.
Yeah, I mean, ESPN used to do that.
Yeah.
The reason they said they did it was because like there's fires on pit road, but I'm like, what pit reporter is getting close enough to a fire to have that actually work?
Well, here I go, guys. I'm right behind the fire. I'm right behind the tire changer right now. I'm watching him put it on right now. I almost got hit by a car, guys. This is crazy.
Mark Martin tried to kill one of them, but all got in the way. I remember watching it. I was like scared shitless because I from the angle I think they first put it out, it was like, oh shit, did that go like right into him? And then it's like, oh okay, nah, it's not that bad. What's Jerry Punch in 1986?
They get into an accident?
I don't know.
Oh, is that when he saved? Oh, Jerry Punch saved someone after a huge crash. Was it Ricky Rudd?
Really?
I would look it up.
It was someone.
That was a good thing about him being an actual doctor. So
yeah.
Someone asked opinion on Dewey Rider.
Is he the idiot in those Mountain Dew commercials?
Yeah. You know, hold on, I got a funny story here. So I'm at my grandma's place and I'm watching this. And the commercial comes on for the first time, and she literally turns over to where I'm at, and she's like, "Hey, Darian." I'm like, "Yes," and she's like, "Is that Junior's replacement?"
Oh, man.
God,
I'm like, no. I'm like, he's like, because he literally thought that was his replacement. I was like, no, it's Alex Bowman.
It's funny though. The guy playing him is actually a really well-known actor. He's actually been in a lot of stuff.
Doesn't mean he's funny.
His name is McBride. I can't remember his last name.
Danny McBride.
Yeah.
So yeah, who? If anyone in the chat, whoever brought up the stuff with,
They said he saved Rusty Wallace.
Oh,
I guess in 1986.
Interesting. Yeah, so Sylvie Gang asked, will Alex Bowman win a race this year? I don't think Hendrick will win a race this year.
No, not even close.
That's a little extreme. I don't know about that. I think Hendrick will win something.
He'll probably win like 2 races.
Chase Elliott needs Dr. Heimlich to win a race, and Jimmy Johnson is awful. Alex Bowman is meh.
William Byron probably needs a few more years. Like 2 years, really, before he can start getting wins.
He got forced up way too quick. All right, so we talked about the All-Star Race, the package, all that good shit. Want to talk about the race this weekend? There's probably not going to be much to talk
about. Weather keeps going back and forth because I've been watching it since I'm going. Looks like there's a chance of storm Saturday, and then Sunday. Now, last I looked, it looks like there's a chance of morning showers clearing out by midday. So, race looks like it should happen Sunday night. But I'm going to a race when rain's in the forecast, because every race that I've been to this year, it's rain has been involved in some way. So you can tell that I'm going to the race.
Are you going to be at the all like the Xfinity race and everything too, or are you just going to be at the race?
Saturday, I'm going to the NASCAR Hall of Fame, and then I'm going to go see the Hendrick Motorsports shop. If they're open, I'd like to go check out the Lionel Racing Place because it's not far from Hendrick and the track. After that, probably just go check into the hotel and maybe go explore like actually Charlotte itself.
The Hall of Fame's pretty awesome.
I'm really looking forward to going to the Hall of Fame, and then after that, like I said, just enjoy Charlotte itself on Saturday with my fiance. But then Sunday, of course, we'll be at the racetrack all day.
I know Griff Dog. He's going to the race.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can run into him there.
Actually, I think in his video he said he's planning on moving out to the area, so that's cool.
Yeah,
I might be moving there soon. So, our family's looking at moving down near in North Carolina near there. So
I'll tell you this:
Illinois.
If you want to work for SMI or work for NASCAR, you definitely need to already live in the area, because they're not really, from what I've heard, they're not really too keen on hiring you in if you don't live in the area.
Yeah, AB68 says this too. The hall is pretty fun. There is a station where you can be a commentator. It's like the finish to the first race at Richmond in 2008. You can be like, that's the one that me and my brother got to be a commentator for.
Oh, he turned him. No.
Hey, if you can speak normally, you're already better than Darrell Waltrip. Dude, I swear, the dude has to be drunk half the time. Either that or like the concussions throughout his career have caught up with him.
No, there was an interview he did recently. It was posted on a page I'm in. It's like a 24-minute interview, and he's very calm. Like, he's like normal. I think sometimes I might think like Fox asks him to do like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, do too much.
He's still better than Michael. Like, I can't stand Michael Waltrip on when he comes on there. I actually just mute it every time.
Speaking of Michael, what'd you think about him getting involved in that proposal with Jimmy Johnson's friend?
That's what I was gonna say. His commentary during the proposal was one of the most ridiculous things I'd ever heard. He comes right in there. Did you say yeah, or like? So he said yes or whatever. She's like, well, I haven't. He hasn't asked me yet. And he's like, oh, my bad. And I'm like, Michael, you got
I had it muted, so I didn't know what he said.
Like, I think the guy planned it to not have Michael do that, because he probably knew that if he's hanging out with Jimmy during that time, Michael was going to come by and he could get it on camera. But Michael completely stepped in and ruined it. Like, it was kind of nice, a kind of wholesome moment, but Michael definitely made it a little bit worse.
Even
Michael
off the
Waltrip-
track, he still
Michael Waltrip
crashes.
can be really funny. I've heard him say some things. I can't think of any specific examples, but I've heard him say little zingers here and there that I'm like, that is really funny. But I think I think he just kind of like his brother. When he gets into things, he just kind of gets a little too into them. He's a little too in the moment sometimes.
I don't know what's changed with Michael. But I used to actually enjoy him on the Truck Series races. But now it's changed a little bit.
Yeah, it's different. It's definitely different.
Oh, by the way, Kamikaze and Radman, Danny has something really funny after the stream. It's sort of a running joke with everyone we have on at this point, and I guarantee you guys will love it. I mean, we have to keep it like all between us. No one in the chat can know, but
Yeah,
it's
I'm
freaking
scared.
amazing. Oh, it's.
Am I going to need to call proper authorities after it?
I might, but
Is this the Snapchat thing?
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, I'll keep it quiet.
For those who don't know, I won't say who, obviously, but there is a NASCAR driver who sent me a Snapchat. It wasn't a dick pic or anything.
See, if you say anything though, now people are just going to demand you tell them.
I'm not telling. They can just imagine who it might
But
be.
you're gonna tell them. I know you at some point you're gonna tell them in the future. If you hint at it, you're gonna get asked enough.
When I hit 250,000 subscribers, then I'll say it.
There you go.
there you go.
But anyways,
No, I'm so epic. It wasn't a toad.
anyways, I'm just gonna say it real quick and get it over with. Not the person, obviously, but this NASCAR driver who's on my Snapchat accidentally sent me a picture intended for a girl, a picture of their face, and they said, "Counting down the days to having you bent over."
The picture makes it 1,000 times better too.
I know. Yeah, it's
I'll tell these two after we're done streaming.
yeah.
I wonder if it's the same picture I have.
What?
Okay. Leaving like the private chat we have, leave it in that.
I can't share it.
No, the name. I mean,
What is
just
this NASCAR driver sending?
I don't want to say that either.
We will talk after.
I'll
stream.
see it if it's. I want to see if it's the same. If it's the
Yeah.
same, then yeah. But no, it's like stuck in my camera roll from way back. I forgot about it until you brought up.
Was
driver
this
and picture.
back in February?
I don't remember. It's been a while. It's definitely been a while, but I've not shared it with anyone.
Like I've talked about it, but that's as much as I've said. I won't say who.
no. I'm so epic. I'm not gonna show the shirt. Someone has to buy it first. I've
Nobody's
shown
bought it
it.
yet?
No one's bought that one. No one's bought the "I Died in Talladega" shirt, and nobody's bought the "Lick the Like" button.
Hey, maybe
So-
show Kamikaze this shirt. He might buy one.
I feel like the running joke is that the chat says I'm gonna buy one and I never do.
Get
Yeah,
hard from an ard.
yeah.
They keep making Jarrett come up with all these new shirts just to not buy them.
Oh, well, maybe I will. I'll show it really quick. I do want to. I want to see the reaction it gets. There.
Okay, I'm gonna add it where it's just showing you.
It's social. One second.
So, anyways, we'll let him show his shirts off real quick, and then we'll get into getting more to pick. So we've brought in the fact that Coke 600 this weekend. Weather's looking like the race should happen. Chase Elliott is running the Xfinity Series race for GMS.
Is it on?
Yeah, hold on. There it is.
Okay. Yeah. Assholes keep saying they'll buy it. And then let's see.
I say to order. My goodness gracious.
You only have an hour to order. Buy it now.
Well, it redoes it every 3 days.
People, clock is counting down.
Yeah,
Can't
but
let
there
this
you go.
opportunity slip away.
Everyone, yes, there we are.
Jared said worst T-shirt in the history of NASCAR. I wouldn't go that far.
You need to order this. You need to order this T-shirt and get Paul to sign each individual photo.
You know what? Like I might try that. Like each race I go to, try and get him to autograph just one of them. That or like go up to somebody like, well, you know, I actually don't live that far from where the like main Menards like headquarter place is. Maybe I should see if like his dad would sign it.
Just get his dad to sign it. He probably banned you from the stores.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that might not be good for my current job. So we'll just hold off on that for a while.
So,
But yeah,
anyways,
someone's got to buy it. Come on, shown it now 5 times.
So who do we think's going to win this weekend?
Harvick.
I think it's safe to say everyone would say that. But this race can come down to fuel mileage, so makes you kind of wonder.
Harvick.
So everyone's saying Harvick?
I haven't decided yet.
Okay.
Harvick.
So who's going to finish
Yeah.
second? That's the better question.
Okay, so
Chase Elliott.
Second doesn't matter anymore in the regular season.
Chase Elliott.
Look, okay, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, but I know this seems kind of like a stretch, but Kyle Larson will finally get a win this season. I know it's going. Kyle Larson will.
I'm gonna say Harvick. If I was betting money, I would bet Harvick. So I'll pick Harvick. But if you want a serious underdog that I think will actually surprise people, I think Ryan Blaney might get his second win.
I want Blaney to win so bad.
I'd love it if Blaney won.
Yeah,
Kansas killed me for that reason.
Yeah.
So
It was either going to be Larson or Blaney. Like, I'm 100% okay with that battle for the win.
it could have been Larson or Blaney at Kansas, but then that caution came out, and then
really, I think Larson was going to win that race if that caution hadn't come out.
I think Harvick's going to win the Xfinity race this weekend too, and he's not even in it.
See, I'm rooting for Blaney just because, like, 1, he hasn't won that much, and 2, he's my brother's favorite driver. Plus, like, it's what's funny? So in the 10 years, because there's a lot of Menards near where I live, in the 10 years that Paul Menard had Menards on the car, never did they show like a cardboard cutout or something on the screen. Now it's it's 12 races into this season with Blaney. Blaney is everywhere. There's cardboard cutouts of Blaney. He's on every screen. He's even in the damn commercials now.
he's more marketable. So
Yeah, but I just find it funny. It's like,
wait, Blaney has commercials?
yeah, in because I live in Illinois and they're Menards is local ones.
There's no Menards out here, so I don't ever see them.
It's an Illinois,
the thing-
Wisconsin thing.
The thing is, I've talked about this before. Everywhere where there is a Menards, there is like no NASCAR tracks at all.
Really?
Illinois and Wisconsin.
There's
They're-
Menards all over the place around here.
Like, okay, if this is America, here's Menards, here is the racetracks.
I don't know what to say.
I don't know what to say either, man.
Nick Sant says Jeffrey Earnhardt will win.
Oh yeah, he's racing this weekend. That's cool.
Yeah.
Getting back
I mean,
in.
how many laps down do we think he'll finish? 10
Probably
or 14?
Probably 6.
I'll say 4.
It's a 600-mile race.
Oh, yeah.
True.
Okay, lots of time
Bump it
to
up to
laps.
7. I'll bump it up to 7.
I'll go 14.
So Harvick is my pick to win. I never really got to mine. Harvick is my pick to win, but my underdog is Daniel Suarez. I think I don't know, like the Toyotas always seem to run pretty well there, and he did come in second place in the All-Star race. Granted, it's a different package, but I feel like if it comes down to a fuel mileage thing, I got this weird, funny feeling about Suarez for some reason.
He's got momentum, at least, if nothing else.
Well, the 19 team has won off of fuel mileage in the 600 before, so based on the trends, that might happen.
I remember that race. I graduated that day.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I was a year later.
Yeah,
On
same.
the same day.
Yeah, my underdog pick would probably be Eric Jones. I'd say that. I mean, he showed improvement in that Kansas race, though, so I would have to
He
give him that.
did. Yeah, he did. I gave him some grief and out of the groove this week because he'd been slacking ever since Texas. But Kansas was a step in the right direction, so maybe if nothing else, they got mile and a halfs figured out. So Eric Jones isn't a terrible pick.
Yeah, I bet Eric's just glad that Kansas back, so he has someone else to kind of pull him along.
Yeah, he'll finish his 20th place and go about his way.
Smitty Rules asking me to make him a Larry Mack trend shirt. Yeah, but see, the trend is that you won't buy it. So
Yeah.
Oof.
And
What
see,
did you do?
here's been the trend over the last few live streams. No one has
it's a
been
fucking
buying the
flat
shirt.
line. It's a fucking flat line.
Right at the 0, right along the x-axis.
No, knowing how it's going, it's just gonna be like
I'll tell you what. When I start getting ad revenue, I'll buy your shirt. What do you say?
All right, cool.
I will.
YouTube's a dick though, so that might be a few years.
Yeah, I know.
They literally said like there for a while. It was saying YouTube was saying we'll get this done at the end of April. Now we'll get it done at the end of June.
June.
I have an idea.
We'll get it till the end of August. So
I have another question. How many laps will Jimmy Johnson lead? As many as he's led this season?
we'll probably lead. I'll say one. Probably on a green flag pit stop. During a green flag pit stop, he'll lead
The
one.
fact that he doesn't even have one of those types of laps led yet this season is what blows my mind. Like,
Yeah.
They don't pay points anymore.
Like I'm gonna.
He's gonna be a lap down by lap 100.
I'd think that. Yeah, I mean, he sucked at Vegas this year. The only reason he got back in the lead lap is because NASCAR has about 1 million ways to get laps back. Yeah, I'd see him probably finishing 3 or 4 down. He'll finish closer to Jeffrey Earnhardt than he will Kevin Harvick.
Zaire Bear in the chat says, I have a random fact. Austin Dillon won more points-paying races at Charlotte than Kyle Busch. So Austin Dillon is greater than
that's
Kyle
right.
Busch.
Yeah, Kyle Busch hasn't won a points race at Charlotte. That's surprising.
By that logic, seems airtight.
I think Kyle Busch is winning the Roval this year. I really do. But here's some drivers who have led laps and Jimmy Johnson has not. Justin Marks has led a lap this season in the Cup Series. Brendan Gaughan has led a lap this season. Matt DiBenedetto has led 6 laps this season. Michael McDowell has led 11 laps this season. Casey Kane has led 2 laps this season. Chris Buescher has led a lap this season. McMurray has led a lap this season. Allmendinger has led 3 laps this season. It just goes on and on.
Danielson's led just as many laps as Jimmy Johnson this year, hasn't she?
William Byron has led 31 laps. Newman has led 40.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's
Newman. Let's see. Falconeer 2017 says he thinks Allmendinger will win the Roval. I think he meant Roval.
I think McDowell will. Michael McDowell could. He could possibly win it. He's good at road courses.
I'm hoping that Allmendinger can finally get that Sonoma win off his back this year.
See, he's going to pull Chase Elliott in that.
Are Talladega and the Roval back to back?
Good question.
I thought they moved Talladega. I don't think that's the elimination race anymore.
Yeah,
They moved
Roval
it
is
from the
elimination.
elimination race.
Oh, I think the Charlotte Roval is going to be the opening race in that round. Then they go to Talladega. Then they go to Kansas. Pretty sure.
That's gonna be a crap storm.
The Roval,
Talladega and the Roval back to back. That's banter. Top banter era right there.
The Roval is the final race of the first one, and then Dega's 2
Really?
races later. They got Dover between them.
It's
I
funny.
would love it back
It's
to
funny. There are 3 races at Charlotte a year, and they're all going to be uniquely different this year because you had the All-Star package, the regular Coke 600, and then the Roval.
They should put the All-Star package during the Roval race just for funsies.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
As long as it's not run in 2020, I'm happy with it.
I think at this point we just get rid of cars and just take them to Bristol and tell them to run around the track and see who wins.
Honestly, I want them to do that. That would be hilarious to watch the drivers do like a literal sprint race.
Oh, I like
I
to see
wanna
Ryan
watch
Newman
them.
sprint.
I like to watch them ride mopeds. No, it's a triathlon with mopeds, unicycles, and
those hoverboards that used to be popular.
And
Yes.
they all have to do this.
Kiwis.
They all have to do this at Bristol on the high banks.
I would like to see them all start driving the racetrack with their eyes closed, blindfolded. See who makes it out first.
See, I think Tony Stewart had it perfect back in 2012. We just need to put them all in a figure 8 and have one go one way, the other go the other way.
Yeah.
I strangely want to see the either modifieds or truck series do that one time.
Oh, and speaking of Bristol, wasn't there a late model race there and there's some sort of fight that occurred?
That was part of that short track nationals that I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, that was crazy. The guy had a bloody nose and stuff. They were really fighting.
I mean,
Not like
that's
the NASCAR where they just twist each other.
That's just exactly what that event is made for. Like for the people who just genuinely just enjoy their local short track, that's what that event is made for. That's the Super Bowl of short track racing.
And I also didn't know, this was a fun fact, I didn't know that Bristol used to have dirt racing. That was interesting.
Yeah, they had that for 2 years, 2000 and 2001. And it was still a mess. It was such a mess because they still had to have the spring and fall race there. And literally what they used sawdust as the base. They put a big coat of sawdust down on the track first, and then they brought in the dirt that they were using for the surface.
See, Tyler Johnson put on here, we need more diversity like the deaf kid in the Denny Hamlin commercial.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't wait to race you someday. It's like, where
my mom
spotter going to be?
I
my
feel
mom
so.
watches these streams, and she was like, "You guys are so messed up or effed up for saying that." I'm like,
Well, I'm messed up for saying it. You're messed up for laughing.
No,
at
if
it.
you want to hear something messed up, go to 2015 Radioactive at Las Vegas and listen to Tony Stewart describe the throttle response with the tapered spacer. That's messed up.
All right,
This man went in on it. I don't know if they definitely censored it. You can find an uncensored, because back then there was the Showtime, I think, like so they had the uncensored version.
Yeah, that
you
ran
can find that.
until, like 2012. I
See if you
think.
get that. He despised that taper spacer back in 2015 more than anything I think I've ever seen him complain about. And he complained about a lot of things in his career.
Even more than Goodyear?
Even more than good. Yeah, even more than good. He
Holy
hated that thing.
shit.
He hated it so much he
It's
put it on the
been
public
neuters.
radio in his car.
I
It's
feel,
been neuters.
Waited till after he could have just waited till after the race and cuss it out in private, but he was like in the car, just like this tapered spacer, and I was laughing my ass off.
going back to one thing about bringing up the deaf kid commercial. I feel kind of bad because we were talking about how theoretically a deaf person can drive on a short track where there is no spotter systems at all. Obviously, it wouldn't work out in NASCAR where they do have spotters.
Imagine if you're at the front of the pack at like Talladega having to block.
But,
that would be beautiful.
Yeah.
I think you could do it if you put in his peripheral vision, like a monitor or something, and the spotter is giving him hand signals or something like that to say outside, inside. If that can be possible, so like that way it's in his peripheral vision, so he can like see the signals, but still be focused on the track. I think they.
I feel like that would be such a unique. That'd be such a unique ride because obviously you hear nothing. You just feel everything that the car is doing to you. You hear nothing. You just feel all of it going on. And but going back away from that, we said maybe a deaf person could race on a short track. But we said there's probably no way there would ever be a blind driver. Well, in a way, I don't know if Fox watches us, but they ran a program where Todd Bodine was with a young football player who is also blind and
plays for USC, man.
Actually, yeah, he taught him in a way kind of how to drive. Like he coached him along and just told him, hey, turn here and get back straight right here.
I'm trying to find it, but I don't see anything. Do you know what exact video it's on? Because I really want to see Stewart saying this.
It was a while ago. I'd have to try and find it. Definitely 2015 Vegas. If there's a radioactive or some sort of something on it, I can try and find it for you.
I think one of the best things I've heard from Stewart this year was that clip that come from iRacing when he just goes all in and tells these kids off who were just fighting on there.
Oh yeah, he's like, wait, what did he say? He's like, you guys are effing. I can't remember. I know it was funny though.
Just look up like Tony Stewart yells at kids iRacing or something like that.
Well, he didn't like yell at them. He was just like cussing at them, basically.
Yeah.
Tony Stewart's a freaking madman.
Well, so our friend Radman raced in the iRacing version of the Indianapolis 500. Do we have any thoughts about the Indianapolis 500 coming up this weekend?
No,
Nothing apparently.
Wait, what?
I know Danica's starting 8th, so I'm interested in seeing how Danica does. I'll be honest. I kind of want her to win.
I thought she was starting higher than that.
I heard 8th. Maybe I'm wrong.
She's in the 3rd row. I know that for
8.
sure. So yeah.
Don't they do 3 rows of 3
Mhm.
for the Indy 500?
Oh yeah, they do. Do they do a rolling or a standstill start?
To be honest, I do not know.
Yeah, I'm actually kind
For
of
this
like
race, I don't know.
I'm going in green for this, but I really am interested because the last few years that I have had any time to watch, Indy when they're not wrecking or anything. It's been pretty good racing from what I've been able to gather.
Does anyone watch Monaco? The Monaco race?
I'll try it this year.
I'll watch
why not?
qualifying. Can't pass on that track.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hoping that when I'm in Charlotte, like there's a place where I can see bits and pieces of the Indy 500 a little bit. But I mean, I'll be like mostly just taking in the track, really. So
I could have sworn they play the Indy 500 on the big screen at Charlotte. I think they do that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's in a way where I can like catch a glimpse of that, because I don't want to just like go sit in my seat all day and watch the Indy 500 on that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still waiting for the day where like one NASCAR driver, whoever does like double duty, they win the Indy 500 and the Coke 600 on the same day. That'd be pretty dope.
When did Kurt Busch do that? 2010?
2014.
No. Yeah. And he was pretty close until
He did
after.
good.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I
the
think.
pit strategy might have been in contention there.
What did he do?
But Montoya was really fast. No, that wasn't Montoya. Someone was really fast that year.
I thought he crashed in the 500 and then like almost won the
He
600.
crashed in the 600, but he finished the 500.
He blew his engine in the 600.
Oh yeah.
Didn't Kurt Busch do NHRA one time too?
Yeah, he did. I think it was when he was suspended from NASCAR for a while.
Jared, I found the clip.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I'll read it to you and then I'll send you the video. I don't know if the mic will pick it up, but it's censored. So he said, "Somebody just tell me where to run on the racetrack, because I sure as how am I gonna? I'm gonna just say beep. Because I sure as beep don't know where to be. So beep, I hate this beep rules package. It's a bunch of beep. If I wanted to drive a beep nationwide car, I'd save a day out of my week and run a nationwide car." I'd love to know what the beeps are. I would need like the HBO Showtime, but yeah, he destroyed it.
I just want to imagine that Tony Stewart literally is up there going beep.
Classic. I love that. I love Tony. I miss Tony.
Speaking of people who get controversial, what y'all think about what Kyle Busch said after the Truck Series race?
He was
What
right.
did he say? I didn't
He was
see it.
right. He was absolutely right. If you watch the truck race,
Like, I thought that Truck Series race was interesting as well, but I guess as the team owner, yeah, you got a right to, because I don't quite like the way he straight up kind of more demeaned his team and his employees, but that's about the only thing I took offense to that.
I didn't
That's why
see.
I
What did he say?
He was upset with his pit crew because they had a couple issues. I think they had a couple penalties for just simple pit road penalties because of his pit crew. And I think where did he end up finishing? Was he second?
Yeah, he got second.
And that's because he drove like a madman the final restart to get up to that spot.
Yeah.
He was back in like 12th. I don't know. He was way back there at least.
He was about ready to wreck his own trucks because he just wanted to get done and maybe win it.
I didn't like the way I'm not a fan of people who just straight up call out others like that. That's why I'm not a Kyle Busch fan. You can say, yeah, he has a point. Obviously, the pit crew cost him the race. It wasn't Kyle's fault, but I'm just not a fan of people who do that. I would never do that. I don't like people who do that. It's not why I'm not a Kyle Busch fan.
Hey, you know what? It's entertainment. And
It's entertainment.
Busch, man. He's just entertaining. He says whatever's on his mind, doesn't care who he offends or anything like that. So that's why.
Yep.
That's definitely true.
Yeah, but I do see your point. Like, I mean, he could have done it a different way, but come on, it's Kyle Busch. Like, he's not.
That's the thing. His team also knows it's Kyle Busch. They know
I
how
expect
how
it.
it is.
I still just don't like it. I mean, I like to watch it. Don't get me wrong. I like to see people blow up like that, but I'm not going to sit there and be like, yeah, man, what a great guy. Like, I'm not going to root for it.
Who's worse to their crew, Kevin Harvick or Kyle Busch?
That's Kyle Busch.
Maybe that's the key to winning in Cup nowadays. Is you just got to be a complete dickhead to your crew.
Yeah, maybe.
I still don't think they're quite as abusive as Kurt Busch was when he was getting done with Penske.
I miss PC, or I don't know. I don't like having PC Kurt because Kurt is so PC now, and I'm happy he is. happy wife, happy life. But I miss the old Kurt Busch a little bit.
My favorite quote was when they're like, "What does you being on probation means? It refrains me from beating the shit out of you because you asked me stupid fucking questions."
Oh my god!
I miss Penske racing Kurt Busch and Phoenix racing Kurt Busch too. That whole blow up he had at Darlington was epic when he was racing for Phoenix Racing. That was so fun.
I love that one where it's like him at New Hampshire and he's just like motherfucker, and just starts like, "This is about the time we always fucking fall apart." So what should I expect?
And he says he says the F word really well. That's Kamikaze, isn't it, for your race?
Yes, that's the exact clip that I used for the Kurt Busch remixes.
Yeah, when I had subscribed to your channel and I just saw that, I'm like, I'm at home.
I can memorize his outbursts. Where did I pit? Fuck.
Hey, so really quick, I gotta ask Kamikaze, man. One thing I like about your those racing series videos you do is that you include commercials in there too that you actually create yourself. Where do you come up with these, man?
They're just ideas that come to me sometimes. Like the Little Caesars one, I had in my mind for the longest time, but that coffee one that I just posted, that was one that I just straight up came up with on the fly.
Oh man,
there's really no method to the madness, but when stuff gets done, I guess I don't know what to say. It gets done.
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, that Little Caesars one, man, I like that one. That's one of my favorites. And then also the what was it? The salsa commercial.
Everyone loves the salsa one, the taco sauce.
Yeah, I like those.
I was gonna make a sequel to that included actual Latinas, but I could never coordinate that.
See, I hate that, like, when you look up quotes, I always have the inspirational ones. So I'm like looking up Kurt Busch quotes, and it's like, let's see. I never did any of these. Oh, here's one. Kurt Busch's number 3 quote that I found. "I never did any of these things I was accused of. It's total fabrication."
I did not hit her. I did not.
Well, I'm not. Yeah, it's like, "My wife's an assassin."
Yeah, that was crazy.
Sure, Kurt.
Yeah, that was the best.
Get Kurt the fucking pills. Well, actually, it's funny when he wrecks now, and he's like calm in the interviews. Like my parents would be like, "Wow, good to see that Kurt's on his meds."
Like I think there was one time when he literally just said, "Fuck!" I don't know if you ever even heard him finish it.
Darlington. It's the most famous like radio quote ever. Is this entire Darlington burst? It's hilarious.
My favorite Kurt Busch moment is when they were watching him in practice. He puts up a good lap time, and I think Mike Joy's like, "Wow, he must really like that car." And then Kurt comes on the radio and was like, "Fucking thing sucks."
Yeah, that was Chicagoland. Yeah, because I was there listening to that. Let's see. God, I'm sick of all these motivational things. I just want to see him cuss. Seriously, it's like all this stuff about like I made it up in this, or I never thought I'd drive for a living. It's like, I don't give a shit. Just cuss me out.
Like, why are you so inspirational? Cuss me out.
I didn't know he said anything inspirational.
Yeah, it was back before the Penske days. It's back when Jimmy Fennig.
What?
Jimmy,
come again?
Shut the fuck up. It was back when Jimmy Fennig had him on a leash.
Oh yeah.
Now his wife has that leash.
The Bush brothers are a national treasure.
Now I'm wondering if
when I hear wife and leash.
Now I'm wondering if Kurt Busch ever called him that.
Probably. It's Kurt Busch, damn it.
Like I'm not even going to say it because I don't want to get in trouble or anything.
Kurt and Kyle have given me some of the most memorable moments in my NASCAR life. I still remember Kyle middle fingering the Texas official.
That was
I still remember Kyle cursing out Jimmy Johnson at Martinsville, saying he'd dump his shit if he didn't get out of the way. It's just so many good memories.
Here's another good one that we're forgetting is when Kurt Busch cussed out people trying to interview him at Homestead in 2011.
Oh yeah,
I remember that.
He did like one interview, I think, and after that he was just done.
Yeah. Or no, I mean, they were going to do a live one, but then I guess he got impatient. And he started cussing out the camera.
Yeah, didn't he get into like a fight too?
He just walked away.
I still feel like anytime Kurt Busch talks, he's still like just one comment away from cracking and falling back into everything we've seen him for all those years.
No,
Like,
I think he's actually changed now.
Yeah.
Like,
He might be changed, but I'm just saying he's still. I'd be afraid to interview him still. To be honest.
I'm just imagining Cole Custer sitting there with an evil look on his face, like you're just one bad outburst away from me being in your car.
Yeah, Cole Custer, or I'm going to call him Toad Custer. Toad Custer is going to be in the car next year. I don't think Kurt Busch is. I don't think he's probably not going to get re-signed.
At the beginning of the year,
What if he wins the title?
I said that. At the beginning of the year, I said that, but he's been running a little bit better. But I almost wonder if that's because of the fact that he might lose his ride.
Yeah, I mean it's also
guys.
so I don't know. If
Guys, I'm gonna share my screen. This is Cole Custer for you.
Oh,
Me?
That's Cole Custer watching Kurt Busch cuss out someone. I'm going now.
yes, you are.
Oh man,
Sorry, I just had to. I was like, it's perfect.
I thought that was funny because at first I just saw Kamikaze. It's like, oh,
I'm Cole Custer. Where did I get all this daddy money from?
Kamikaze is Cole Custer confirmed, not clickbait.
yeah,
Now he's going to beat Ty Dillon's ass.
right.
I would love
Have
to
to get
see
Nima
that.
check first though from Custer.
Yikes.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on Nemechek?
Nemechek, I really want him to succeed. Oh my goodness gracious! Look at this right here. I have his truck.
I know that's a good looking truck right there.
Oh, it's gorgeous. And when I ordered it from the website, the Nemecheks paid for shipping. My goodness gracious!
What
Wait,
nice guys.
What year is that one from? Because that's not the current body style, is it?
The 15, I want to say. 16 possibly. Definitely not last year's or this year's.
I really want to get a Truck Series diecast. That's the only I've got Nationwide, Xfinity, and Cup, but I do not have a Truck Series diecast. I
don't have a truck one either.
Like I don't even care to drive at this point. I just need to get a Truck Series diecast.
Yeah, it's really high quality.
Here's a
I'd
good
recommend it.
Kurt Busch. Here's a good Kurt Busch quote. Kurt Busch crashes. Kurt, check my motherfucking damage spotter. I can't see the right side from here.
I can't see the right side from here.
Kurt, we're on the fucking back straightaway, fucking outside.
Is that Darlington or New Hampshire?
That's no New Hampshire.
That's New Hampshire.
Here's one from like 2002.
I can
Dale
find the
Jr.
New Hampshire clip. I'm playing it.
Okay, there's one from Dale Jr. in 2002. Why was a pit stop so slow? Were you butt fucking back there playing patty cake or something? And then it's like, he's like, Jimmy has a broke hand. Broke hand?
Man,
Yeah, rub some dirt on it. Walk it off.
walk it off. Yeah, Sonoma 06.
Damn. Let's see. I just found one on Reddit. Yes, I'm going to the slums of NASCAR Reddit.
I can't wait until a few years down the road when these young drivers finally have been in it long enough that they can be a little bit edgy like that too.
Yeah.
I've said
again.
I don't know because I've said it before. I really think that when he gets some years in him, I think Blaney's going to be so controversial.
Oh yeah.
See,
Oh,
I can't wait till Blaney gets to the point of his career where he's just in the I don't give a fuck stage, where he's just like, screw it, I'm gonna say what I want. You can't do anything to
I
me.
really think out of all the young drivers, he's going to be first to be like that.
I can't wait.
I think he already is
Yeah, he
like
already
that,
is.
but he just isn't frustrating.
He is to a certain point, but I feel like he's going to really start surprising people in a few years.
These young drivers are not going to feel like they can say anything about anything until they start doing something. So these guys need to win races before. Like I've noticed the last couple of years, I feel like Kyle Larson. I know he's kind of quiet, but I hear him say some things sometimes, and I'm like, I think he's only saying them now because he started to win races finally.
Larson has room to talk, and so does Blaney. The rest of the young drivers, they have no room to talk. They can't.
And that's why they don't, and that's a problem for NASCAR. But that's a different story for a different time.
Well, no. Bubba, he said one thing about Denny Hamlin, but
Bubba talks, but to be fair, Bubba doesn't have room to talk yet either. But he was maybe right about that.
He also called out the NASCAR officials at Daytona a few years ago because they couldn't call the finish right or whatever, or it took them like 20 minutes to find out the winner or whatever. And it's like we have he put something on Twitter. It's like we have like 100 different cameras around here, and you can't find one good one that tells you like who won the race. It's like, nice job, NASCAR and NBC. And there's like NBC's first year back too. It's like this is a perfect way to pick up right where we left off.
Flying Gator says, he asked, did you hear what Bowman said? No, I don't know what he said.
What did Bowman say?
I don't know.
I'll look it up.
Did he say anything? Because he doesn't. I feel like Bowman doesn't do anything.
Yeah, Bowman doesn't do anything. Eric Jones doesn't really do anything.
Jones doesn't do anything. Chase doesn't really do much.
Doesn't really do anything.
I have the audio. Do you guys want to hear it?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let me know if you can hear it first.
5100, but 5100.
Yep.
I can hear it.
I don't think we needed the fucking pit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Kurt Busch, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Many good evenings spent listening to
Okay,
this.
so what they're saying in the comments is Bowman said that drivers aren't showing him respect. Well,
I did see that. It's like, well, yeah, they're
Oh
not.
my god.
Well, he said that drivers are taking advantage of him. It's like, well, if you keep letting them take advantage of you, they will take advantage of you.
Time to rant. Okay. If you're not earning respect, go get your goddamn respect. I don't want to hear you bitch about it. Like, no, I don't. Go race him hard. I don't understand why he's complaining. I don't know if he actually said that, but like,
they're not showing me respect.
just go race. If you don't think someone's, I'm guarantee it's not everyone in the field. He's probably talking about maybe one or two drivers. That
I know
won't
he's
give him
talking about Bubba for sure. He doesn't like Bubba.
Then go out there and door him real quick and just or
Right.
talk to him after the race and earn it. I mean, like, don't complain about it through the media like I'm not getting respect. No, shut up and drive the car and go earn your respect. I don't
That's
understand.
the problem with most of these young drivers.
Come on, man.
I'm going to say this as a Bowman fan. Bowman, if for any reason you ever watch this, man, just get a backbone and just drive your car. You're in freaking Earnhardt Jr.'s car. Just drive it like you're an Earnhardt, you know?
Danica had the same problem. She would complain to the media about not being raced with respect. And, you know, to be fair, maybe she wasn't, but she never did anything on the track to earn it. So that was kind of an issue there.
Bowman needs to get a GPS and find where his sack went.
Like, unless he continues on the track he's doing, I think really Bowman shouldn't care about being this nice guy. I mean, Earnhardt Jr. vouched for him to be in that car. Just go out there and just do what you have.
Well, he needs a new crew chief. Greg Ives is garbage. I don't like him. He's complete garbage. Great guy.
Great in the Nationwide Series with Chase.
And you know what? Alan Gustafson, too. He needs to leave, too.
Whoa.
I'm not
It's all of Hendrick.
like-
It's
like-
all of
like-
Hendrick.
like-
It's
Hendrick
not
just
just
sucks ass this year.
Allen did great with Mark Martin in 2009.
And
Yeah.
Gordon.
And he did good with Jeff Gordon, so I'm not going to say it's Alan Gustafson.
It's none of the crew
Combination of
chiefs.
both, maybe?
No, it's none of the crew. It's the organization.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
some.
Oh, Chad Canals is putting out 25th place cars. It's not the crew chief.
Yeah.
It's not. Someone said I sound like Larry Mack. I didn't hear the Larry Mack thing on Stenhouse and Chase, but that's another thing. I mean, Chase needs to grow up. Like, I don't even know why he's mad at that. I heard he was. I didn't hear the exact thing. I saw them like have a confrontation at Kansas. I think it was about
Yeah, because
getting slide dropped in the last lap. Well, it's the last damn lap. He cleared you and he slid up in front of you. All right, don't complain about it.
And then he had the nerve to freaking like door his car or like hit him in the back.
Yeah, I don't
For
know.
racing hard.
I think the Hendrick drivers are just frustrated. They're very frustrated because they're slow. But don't be doing this bullshit like Alex Bowman. Oh, no one respects me, or Chase. Oh, you did a slide job on the last lap, or Chad Canals. Why did Larson lap us? What is these complaints? Go out and race.
Well, one thing that upset me about the whole thing with Chase Elliott is the fact that afterwards Stenhouse was actually like apologetic. It's like, Or we have such pansy drivers that we're apologizing for actually racing hard. Isn't that the whole point of going out there?
If it was lap like 20, then yeah, I understand it. But it's the last lap coming out of 4, and Stenhouse was clear. I
would love to
What's
see.
wrong with it?
I would love to see these guys on like a local short track. I mean, can you imagine like them bitching about something to someone?
They would
who
probably
just runs
bitch
a
every
short track?
lap. They'd bitch every lap, man.
Yeah,
I think it's the frustration aspect. I think you're right. It's the frustration with the Hendrick guys specifically. They're just
even
not prepared
Larson.
for this.
Larson's like sitting there complaining on Twitter because Bristol sucks because we're not on the high side anymore. It's like, what else can like next? Is this like the best you guys have? Like bring me some Kurt Busch quotes.
Yeah, Jared, I gotta agree with you there. This is NASCAR. It's not F1. If you pull that shit in F1, then yeah, I can totally understand somebody being pissed. But it's NASCAR now.
Here's the thing, like you talk about like Larson saying he wants to run the high line. As a driver, I can see how you want just the smoothest driving experience possible. You don't have to worry about too much. You don't want to wreck your car. But the thing is, that's sadly not what the fans want, because fans want that close racing like we saw at the All-Star race.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and JZ28 says that the truth here, Bristol pretty much was ruined.
Yeah,
it was better this year. I'll say that.
But they had the benefit of that rain delay that allowed them to put extra sticky stuff on the track. I don't know how well it might have held up.
Bristol was my favorite race in the last 2 years, probably.
I still think rain
this year was better, but it was because I think more often than not during that race, the bottom was the way to go.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why it's the best Bristol race I've seen since.
Rain is what killed the attendance. Rain is what killed the attendance. I talked to a lot of people who had tickets and could have went. They said that they just chose not to go because it looked like the rain was going to make it not happen, which ultimately
it rains there almost every year. They didn't move the date of that race.
They really do.
In the summer,
like the roof.
Here's the thing with here in East Tennessee. Now wouldn't be a bad time for here in East Tennessee because we get like hot days and maybe like a quick afternoon thunderstorm, but it doesn't last that long. But like in April, when it rains, it's just gonna rain all day.
So like they usually have Talladega the 10th race of the year, and then aside from like this year and next year, usually Charlotte is the 12th. Have Bristol between those two, and then have the All-Star race, like build up hype with the schedule and good racing and stuff.
Yeah, I've said that logistically, if you think about like how it would run, like just run it up the coast, kind of go like Texas, Talladega, Bristol, Martinsville, and then Richmond.
Don't worry, only a couple more years.
I have a terrific idea. Just combine the All-Star race and the Coke 600 together. Damn, one big event.
Yeah.
So like the weekend.
That sounds like something NASCAR would do. I mean, with all the decisions NASCAR has made in the past, it sounds like something they would do.
I disagree because from a hospitality perspective, Charlotte loves those 2 big weekends back to back because they benefit so much in terms of hospitality and tourism.
And they're not going to move it simply for the fact that Charlotte is like one of the fastest growing cities in America. They're not going to waste that opportunity.
Yeah, of course. Someone says HMS is going to shut down in 2025. I wouldn't go that far, man.
I don't think so.
If Roush is still around, Hendrick can survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm So Epic 8 review says, and now some good advice with Kurt Busch. Fuck!
So here's something that was in the news this week. Martin Truex Jr. went to visit the president.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I know.
The comments online, especially on like CNN's channels, have been pure ridiculous.
Race baiters.
I would say we need to be a very fine line here if we want to talk about this.
Okay. I laid this out when it was just me and Danny. Here's how I see it. Putting politics aside, if you're invited to see the president, you don't have to respect the man, but at least respect the position of authority that the president has, and be and you have the opportunity to meet a sitting president. You know, no matter how they are or whatnot, I don't care.
At the end of the day, the event itself, I watched a little bit of the clip. I watched a little bit of the actual event live as it happened, and then I went back and watched a few clips. people, people are going to make their jokes, whether they agree, whether they like Trump, whether they don't like Trump. People will joke, people will shout that they love him or support him, whatever. At the end of the day, the event looked like any other event when Bush was president and Johnson or whoever would go there, when Obama was president and Johnson would also go there. No matter who, it looked exactly the same. The President Trump was given the same kind of boring jokes or remarks that every president makes about NASCAR, just generic knowledge.
He said to Cole Pern that you guys you changed the tires really fast. He said something like that. I think.
Yeah. Of course he's gonna throw his own little way he talks, I guess, in there. At the end of the day, I don't understand why people make this as notable in any way. There was nothing there. I watched the clip. It was just boring press conference. Some photos were taken. I noticed Brian France actually shook Trump's hand, however, compared to when he tried to shake Truex's hand at the awards show. It was very different side by side. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it was just kind of people are going to throw their opinions. But as for the event itself, it's custom. NASCAR during the Obama years went to the White House. Obama said his generic stuff. George Bush said his generic stuff. Trump said his generic stuff. Nothing came out of it. So I don't know why people bother leaving comments, to be honest.
Obama had to be sick of seeing the same guy every year with Jimmy Johnson. It's like your steward shows up. It's like, oh my God, someone new.
Oh my God, someone else?
Oh no, Obama saw Jimmy.
Well, what year?
4 times.
What year was it when they?
It would have been 08, 09, 10, and 13, right?
What year was it when they stopped bringing the entire chase? Because used to that they would actually just bring everyone who was in the chase.
2012, right?
No, it was before that. It was like they stopped bringing. I know they had the entire chase in 2006. I think it was one of the first few years I was watching. And after that, they just did the champion. By 2009, it was just the champion. But it's like I can imagine being like, and the champion, Tony Stewart, someone new.
You're chubby.
Yeah,
I want to imagine
Jimmy put on a few pounds this year.
I want to imagine that Brad was also drunk Brad when he was there.
Oh my God.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I gotta throw in my 2 cents about the whole situation. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of in between this. You may not agree with what he said in the past and stuff, but I mean, whoever gets he's a sitting president, a current sitting president right now. So I mean, if you're gonna get the opportunity to go see a current sitting president, I mean, I would totally do that. I mean, not many people get to. But then also, I mean, if you don't want to and stuff, I mean, it's America, so you can also decide not to go. But I also hate the fact that people who don't really follow the sport and stuff. This was a big situation last year in September, with the whole NFL doing their whole kneeling during the anthem and stuff. And then Trump made he tweeted about NASCAR being patriotic and stuff. And then everyone just all of a sudden wanted to start attacking NASCAR, saying, well, only Trump supporters and rednecks, watch that sport and stuff. I don't know, just dumb stuff. But yeah.
Well, that's part. I'm gonna try to. I'm keeping. Everyone knows I don't like talking about politics. I'm gonna keep politics out of it. Part of that, you're saying the general public connecting NASCAR with Trump. Part of it is because Brian France makes himself very public at Trump campaigns, and Brian France. They do it to themselves. So that's why I don't feel bad for NASCAR when, Brian France will shake Trump's hand, and this is what I'm most angry with. He'll shake Trump's hand and be all friendly with him, and then disrespect Truex to the podium. He won't show up to the track, but he'll show up to the White House. I completely agree with showing him to the White House. It's sitting president, but he does it on himself because Trump and France have business history, so that's why they connect the two. So when you connect the two, and you have someone as a figure as Trump, the general public will do the generalization of connect the dots, and that's what it will be. Now, keeping the politics aside, the whole reason why this became a thing is because I think it was Golden State was the first team. Was it Golden State the first team that did it?
Mm-hmm.
So, if I recall, I'm very foggy on this, but they said they wouldn't go, but they were thinking about not going, and then Trump tweeted something about pulling the invite, and then whatever, all hell broke loose.
Oh, and didn't some NASCAR drivers actually endorse Donald Trump?
Yeah. See, here's I was I forgot when it was in the election because I don't remember that far back. But it was when they started being all public about it, I was I don't care who it's for. No one in that big of a role in a sport should be endorsing political candidates. Because all it does is drive a divide with your fans, your newer fans, whatever it may be. it's just I mean, for all
it's
we
common
know,
business.
he could have been high on cocaine because that's something he's.
Well, it's
going
really
on
just
for.
all negative publicity you're bringing onto the sport. You can endorse a candidate. Like I said, I don't get into politics. If that's your politics, you do
Yeah.
what
I mean,
you
he
do.
couldn't have
Well,
endorsed
the
him,
The
like,
thing
privately.
was once Golden State didn't go, and then I think like half of the Patriots team didn't go, but half did. And so when you're Brian France and you're NASCAR, like you're gonna go, you're gonna quote unquote respect the position of the office. But compared to most other teams, and Trump is the one that will tweet about you, like, hey, I brought the this team or this whatever with me, and with already how toxic everything is, it's all on themselves. So the general public will always connect two and two together and just like say that kind of stuff. I think most people know how I feel about like the Trump, so I don't have to say anything about that. It's just you respect the presidency. You go, you do everything you do. Like it's been the last 8-10 years, something, whatever. I don't know when it started, but it's been like that. And you move on, and forgetting about whatever your feelings are about the man that holds the office.
My question is, since Cole Pern is Canadian, right? Do they get to see Trudeau too?
Huh.
I don't think Trudeau knows anything about NASCAR.
They don't have any they
Yeah.
don't run in Canada
know,
these days. So
In a way, I'm wondering if the election went the other way around and they still come and saw, like, Clinton if she was president. I'm wondering, would she, like, I got this mental image in my mind of her trying to sit in the race car, and she'd be like tiny, can't even see over the steering wheel for some reason.
I was gonna ask, didn't Jimmy last year not end up going to the White House? I think didn't he?
There was a scheduling conflict apparently.
I think it was something. Yeah, it was something like that. I thought it might have something to do with the whole. He wins the championship in November, which would have been when the election happened, and then would have been visiting during the inauguration and stuff. I figured it would be an odd
I think
schedule there.
because he had just kind of gotten into the office, like it might not have even worked out to do that.
I just know last year was the first year in a long time that the NASCAR champion didn't go, and
I know there's been it seems like a lot of it's been being pushed back, so I think that's part of it too, is that just disorganization and stuff.
I think everyone has their own opinion about what you do. Like the Golden State Warriors didn't go, some of the Patriots didn't go, some of the Philadelphia Eagles didn't go. All that. I think the Astros all went. So, but I know everyone has their opinion on what you should do in that respect. I just think as far as this specific incident or this specific, I don't want to call it an incident. That makes it sound dramatic. This specific event with Trump and Truex and all them. There was nothing at the event or in the interactions themselves warrant any headlines. And I thought, I think that's best for NASCAR. You didn't want any headlines.
Yeah.
To come out of that.
I just despise Brian France. That's the only thing.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't.
Same here. I think that just in general, like especially NASCAR, just keep politics out of it. I mean, unless it's something like really unifying, for the most part, politics just is bad in general for sports.
Isn't that like business 101? Like maybe if you're running some sort of business, never include politics.
Never do something that will split up.
Have you noticed have you seen what Brian France has done to the sport since 2003?
Yeah.
He doesn't know business politics.
Here's a little reason why he drank a lot and just
is that like a rumor, or has that been proven?
I mean, it's like one of those rumors that everyone pretty much has accepted.
Because I know there's rumors
like,
that Denny Hamlin does that too.
Well,
so.
it's like I wouldn't be surprised.
No,
we're not
going to say that Denny Hamlin does do that, but
I said I wouldn't be surprised. I didn't say he did it. No, yeah. But it was like I think a few streams back I said when we were talking about why Brian France doesn't go to the tracks. It's like he has no reason whatsoever. You can find booze, cocaine, and hookers in every city in America.
You can.
At least every major city that the tracks are at, you can find it.
Why do you think we do the celebration in Vegas?
Yeah,
you got money, Brian.
So as we're getting later in here, that may not be the most controversial thing we'll talk about, because our special friend here, Kamikaze, I would love just to hear you go in and just unwind and tell the world what you really think about our Daytona 500 winner this year and his brother.
Oh, grab your popcorn.
You really want me to?
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
Sure you want this stream to stay up?
Yeah.
Unwind.
Come on, man.
I mean, I don't think there isn't anything I've already said. I know if he had won that race without turning the 10 in any capacity, I don't care if Almirola killed himself by coming across his nose or if Austin actually. Either way, if he just won that race on merits, I wouldn't sit back like, okay. But like the way that it was presented is what made me the most angry, because from the camera angle and the immediate from what immediately looked like as the race was finishing, it looked like Austin turned the 10, but the commentators didn't even acknowledge that. They didn't even say a word about it. Like they came out of the backstretch and nothing happened. That's what made me angry. No one even mentioned that Eric Almirola was through 2 turns away from the Daytona 500.
And he also did that to like such a nice guy too. Like Eric Almirola, I got to give him. He was definitely like good sportsmanship on that. Because I know probably a ton of other guys would have just went off on.
Yeah,
I would have. And like Almirola has a place in my heart because I was really looking forward to last year before he got his back injury. He won the Talladega Xfinity race. Sure, he lost some points in a penalty after the Cup Talladega race, but he was like up in the chase for the longest time. He was about to take Richard Petty to the chase on merit. Yeah. And then he breaks his back, and it's like, wow, okay. So much for
at least
that.
He's running for Store Haas now, so at least he has a.
And that's yes, I'm definitely happy about that.
Think of it like
I'm glad that he has a chance.
Think of it like this: Almirola has been running consistently better than Dillon, and if we had seen Almirola win, then we would have had three out of the 4 Stewart-Haas cars locked into the playoffs right now.
And all the Stewart-Haas cars would have won the first 5 races of the season.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna defend Austin just on this one thing. It's just because Almirola didn't seem like he was angry about it.
No,
Said he was blocking. So, and I've still never seen like a clear replay of it. I've only seen the onboard, so I can't make a judgment call. But Eric Almirola never seemed to be angry.
Yeah, I just said at the time it was a racing deal. I didn't fault Austin Dillon 100% or anything. I figured if I was in that same scenario, I don't know what I would have done, but I don't think you can blame a person for racing the way Austin Dillon did in that incident. I think I definitely gained respect with the way Almirola handled it. He didn't have to handle it that way, and the way he did, I was impressed. I wish if Austin Dillon were to win that race. I've made jokes since then that Austin Dillon, the only way you can beat these Stewart-Haas cars is if you wreck them out of the way, apparently.
And he did.
Yeah. Well, it's just I don't know. I like Eric.
You know what?
I would rather him win. But
at the end of the day, I just cannot have any respect for a man that dabs. Okay?
I know.
Can't do it.
No, yeah.
I draw the line there.
Look, it's so cringeworthy, man. Like dabbing, that's not like cool anymore either.
Yeah, I hate to do that.
Wasn't cool in February. It's not cool now. I don't think it's really been cool in 3 years, to be honest.
Right. Is that what we're gonna see like throughout his whole career? Every time he wins, he's gonna dab.
Like even
that's even part of Eric's Out of the Groove intro.
Yeah, I keep forgetting to take it out though. I like it in there because it's on the beat, and I think it definitely knocks people off balance a little. That's why I like it in there. But I need something to replace it with.
If he wanted to dab more, he would leave RCR the second he has a chance. I don't know if he'll get the chance though.
Well, see, it's like next time he wins, it's gonna be like 2021, and he's just gonna start talking like Ugandan Knuckles or something. He'll just keep recycling old dead memes.
Chill. That was my favorite dead meme though.
Yeah, I admit I still like it. It's still pretty fun.
I know it's dead, but I loved it.
Do you know the way?
Do you know the way?
Let me show you the way.
Kyle Busch takes a bow after he wins. Carl Edwards does the backflip. Logano pulls the steering wheel out. I think Austin Dillon's just going to get out and just dab his way out of the car.
No, he's already got his thing where he slides in the grass.
Yeah, I think it's garbage. He needs a new one.
Imagine if he wins at Bristol. Is he just going to body flop onto the pavement?
he's never going to win Bristol.
No, we don't gotta worry about that.
Yeah, true.
Hey, I wonder if that makes me wonder what's gonna be Ty Dillon's thing. I know he's probably never gonna win,
Ty
but it's
Dillon's
We never
thing.
need
Ty
to
Dillon's
figure
thing is
that out
going.
because he ain't never gonna win.
Listen, I got respect for Austin, but Ty has shown me absolutely jack shit nothing
Yeah,
for him to
that's-
deserve
I-
a ride.
Or Casey Mears. Am I right? Or Casey Mears.
Oh,
Casey Mears won a Coke 600.
Yeah.
Casey
he
Mears had
did,
moments.
and I still watch that race sometimes. I didn't see it live, so I have to rewatch it.
That was
but,
the most unique people to finish like in the top 5. Let me pull up because like Kyle Petty got a top 5.
yeah.
I think.
Casey
JJ
Mears
Yaley
finished
finished
first. JJ Yaley second. Kyle Petty finished third.
Wasn't Ricky Rudd up there?
Yeah, Ricky Rudd finished fourth. And then fifth place, I can't remember who was in fifth
I think it was
place.
Tony Stewart. I
Yeah.
think it was like actually somebody that was up there.
Did
Yeah.
that one come down to fuel mileage?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember because like the leaders all were pitting with like 2 or 3 to go, getting like a splash and go, and I was like, if it's really just you're there for a second, was it really that much you couldn't save? Like,
Yeah. I love the car that Casey Mears had for that race too. It was like, it was that all digital camouflage car, kind of like what Dale Jr. drove at Daytona in 2008, except they used that Hendrick neon for a
That looked
logo
so
and a
much
number.
better.
It looked so much better. Yes.
yeah. I miss the 25. Like just that font they had for it. It just
Yeah.
looked good.
Like
Like
I
they
even
finally changed
like-
it from the skinny one they had with Vickers, and
yeah.
I never liked the 25 the way it looked with Vickers and then Nemechek before him.
Like it looked nicer when all of the Hendrick cars followed that same font, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like I guess you could call that like the Gordon font. I guess you could call it.
It's pretty much Gordon.
Because they had the 5, which was slightly different, but then there was that one that was like what you would call the Hendrick font. That's like Aardvark bold or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Aardvark Bolt. Yeah.
Oh, Vickers finished in fifth.
Are you
I
sure? I thought he crashed in that one, or was that the year after? I know there was one where he crashed and then the tire went into the infield and like hit somebody's tent.
He was driving 83 then.
Yeah.
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 I missed that Charlotte. What did they do to Charlotte again? When did they repeat it or whatever? When
Wasn't it
2006.
07?
2000 no, it's 6 because in 05 they had the 600, which had like 22 cautions, and then the next race they had, everyone kept blowing tires, and it was basically like
Oh, yeah.
the Charlotte version of Indy. I remember because
missed
like
that Charlotte.
I
Junior.
remember 'cause, like Tony Stewart, they were following Stewart, and he was like second, and all these guys had crashed. And it's like Stewart's gonna run away with the championship, and then right after like Bill Weber says something, he blows a tire and backs it into the fence, and it's like, good one, Bill.
That Charlotte was awesome. They were like the cars would like be
was.
jumping up and down like a roller coaster, and it would just be like
Mhm.
woo, and then just
I-
just hop into the corner.
I think what they
Uh,
should do for like that, or like how they did with Auto Club, or what they should do with Auto Club, what they should have done with Charlotte is like just pave the corners, leave the straightaways like just the way
I
they
mean,
are.
we're never gonna get that kind of race.
No, we're
it-
not.
There was no coil binding back then, which was other cars were just like wee, like a roller coaster, just like up and down, like,
I
happen,
remember-
and then
It was
so
so
awesome.
fun to watch them like back
Yeah.
then. It just back then it was all.
And
around
teams
that.
had to ruin it because they had to get smart and shit.
Yeah.
Here's also a fun fact because he brought up Vickers being in the Red Bull car and stuff. AJ Allmendinger every 10 years has won the All-Star Open now.
Okay,
that's
so
an interesting stat.
Really quick, Redneck Gamers keeps asking this question. He kept asking me, and now he's tagging pretty much everyone else. What is my opinion on Jeffrey Earnhardt running for Premium Motorsports this weekend? I think it's great. It'll be cool to see him running 39th all day, 7 laps down.
I'm biased with Jeffrey because I actually met him and he's really nice.
He is
Yeah,
a nice
I
guy.
met him too. He's really
Yeah,
nice.
he autographed my car at Vegas. I talked to him for a few minutes. He's a nice
Yeah,
guy.
I didn't have anything for him to sign, but I met him at Atlanta too. He's
So
pretty cool.
I would like him personally. I would like him to drive for JR Motorsports. And Junior's been on record to saying that he would offer him a ride, but he wants to earn it his own way, and I respect him way more for that too. He doesn't.
It goes with his personality.
Yeah.
I talked with him for like 20 minutes when I was at 7.
Oh, that's right. You did play the NASCAR Heat 2.
He's a cool guy. I like him. I hope he gets to get his opportunity to show himself. But if not, then damn, he's a good guy.
Is he like as shy as he looks? Because he looks like he's like a really shy
Nah,
person.
he's
Oh,
chill.
no,
No, he's chill. He's like
He's cool as hell.
He's just like me. He's just like he would just enjoy his life,
He's
but
just
in
really
a different way because we have completely different lifestyles. He'll go and like hunt, like and enjoy that with his friends and stuff.
Yeah,
But
he's
a chill dude.
I didn't know
definitely
this,
down
but
our
he.
train, man.
I didn't know this. He doesn't live in like a big mansion. He lives in like a log cabin or something.
No, yeah. He's really country southern
That's
lifestyle
cool.
hunting and
That's
stuff
something
like
you'll
that.
never see NASCAR drivers do today. Like nobody else living in like a log cabin or like out in the like deep woods, like somewhere.
Other
feel
than
like-
Carl Edwards.
Out in the hills with this goat.
Oh, Carl.
I want to imagine that where he's out in Colorado with the team that Truex would live out in like the woods hunting elk and things like that.
Hmm.
Yo, Jared, I do
He
give
needs
a
his
shit about
5-hour
Infinity War.
energy.
Infinity War is a good
Fishing in the
movie.
morning.
Don't comment that.
Wait, who put? Oh, I thought you said my name. I'm like, what the hell? What did I say?
Jared,
Yeah.
Jared said nobody gives a shit about Infinity War. I'm like, nah,
Whoa.
shit, bro. That's
Yeah, I know I'm such
great
a
movie.
shit that like pisses people off, but damn, it's like I thought what I said about Infinity War was a little mundane compared to the rest of it.
nah.
Hey, I just realized this. We're closing in on 100 currently watching, so it's awesome.
That's
Right.
really good for being on this channel instead of like that's like close to Eric numbers right there.
Yeah, Eric's just sitting there like, yeah, I pull this every time it's on my channel.
No biggie.
Let's see how many people think
We
I'm
get-
serious about this. To the 100 people watching, I hated the All-Star Race. It was so bad and so boring. I didn't like it.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh, controversy.
The dislikes are gonna go from 0
Here
to
come the
3.
dislikes.
Click that like button.
I'm going to dislike this video because of that. Boom.
I had to hop off Twitter.
How could you do
I
this?
hopped off Twitter for the rest of the week because I was like, I don't want to just. I'm tired of dealing with this for now.
If
I'll
you
be
get,
back on,
you have to like repeat yourself over and over again. Like I find that sometimes when people
Yeah,
ask
that's
something that
annoying.
people maybe don't. It's not like easy to understand right away, and people keep asking for like me to reiterate. And I'm like,
The thing that really sucks is anytime anything like good, even if there are problems with it, like NASCAR Twitter just goes into one giant circle jerk over it.
Oh
like,
my
and
god!
if anyone says anything that's like anywhere against it, then they just go attack that person. Anyone else?
Y'all, we were doing so perfect on everybody licking the like button. Now we got
Another
7
disliking.
dislikes.
Come on, like guys, come on.
Guys,
I
don't-
did it.
Hey,
kidding.
No, it was all
Guys.
Kamikaze's fault because he disliked
Nah, they're bantering too by disliking
Hey,
it. Dislike
hey.
banter. Keep
Guys.
disliking it.
Guys, no, don't do that because that hurts
I
my
endorse
percentages.
dislike.
guys.
That hurts his channel, guys. Come on. Don't
Yeah,
do
don't
that.
do that.
That one's
Dislike it for
back
a
down to
second
5.
and then click it back
We're
up.
like, it's funny. We're like sitting at 99. Oh, you asshole! Turn back on.
It's all
Did
banter.
you can hear me?
It's all a good meme. It's all
See,
awesome.
I just think of it like that one video where it's like the guy with the deer, and instead of the deer, it's like 0 dislikes. The sneeze is you guys saying something. It's like, oh, good one, Radman. It's like, what? I can't say something. Then they all leave and start. It's like, what now? 5. Hey, we're over 100.
All right, you guys can unclick the dislike button now. Meme's dead. So
Yeah.
go back up.
Hey, so really
Respect
quick.
that.
Great. Now Austin Dillon's gonna come and dislike it.
All right. So really quick, I gotta ask KamikazeGames this. When is the NASCAR 07 review gonna come out?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Ah.
Pump it up, man.
I gotta do the 09 one this year though.
Oh, you know what? You should also do a game review on NASCAR for the PSP. This is the rarest game ever. You got to do a review.
Oh,
on
I
it.
had that. I had that when I was a
don't even own
kid.
an
Yeah.
PSP. All right.
There's only like a few of these left on Amazon. I think the
I like-
last time I got it was like 10.
I like how it literally just NASCAR, not NASCAR
Yeah, it's
07,
just
just
says it's just
NASCAR.
NASCAR on here. It doesn't say NASCAR 07. And I find it very
like-
weird that Elliott
like-
Sadler is the cover driver too, which I don't know.
Yeah,
what
that was so weird. Like out of all people, why was he chosen? Like,
maybe. I mean, he did win one of the dual races, so maybe that's why. But I don't know.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
that's
give
a-
a special hint
Like-
to my subs. NASCAR 09 is coming on my channel. I have it planned.
I feel like NASCAR 07 would have technically been 06. That would have been a prime year for Casey Kane to be your cover guy.
Yeah, I want to.
That man is too good looking to not be on a cover. I'm
I
annoyed.
know, but you have Elliott Sadler, who's. I mean, he didn't even last the whole season in this ride either, and you have him as the cover.
No, by 2007, he was in the 19 car.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Like,
really quick. Oh, go ahead, man.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, so really quick, I gotta debunk KamikazeGames here for a second because
Oh, no.
he said, just really quick, he said that in NASCAR 08, was the first game to introduce the rewind feature. It was actually NASCAR 07 on the PSP. So
Yeah.
I debunk you there.
I was
Bert.
going to have a cutaway about that, but I never got around to it.
NASCAR PSP, the GOAT.
Man.
What was interesting about the Technics NASCAR game days, you could, like, if you mess up, no, my race is going to be perfect. I'm going back and I'm redoing that.
Yeah, you'd have to do that a lot because the AI was freaking horrible if you played it
Yeah.
just alone.
Imagine recording a
still
series
have-
and never being able to use it.
Dude, I still have NASCAR, the game 2011.
Oh
From my
no,
PS.
that game is.
I still have. I was like, I remember I was so excited all day. I was in middle school at the time. I was thinking about the game all day. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have so much fun on this game. And then I get it. My mom gets it, and I just remember being like, this sucks.
I managed to make the 2-car tandem work perfect on that game, but that's about the best thing
See,
it had.
The best
Couldn't
thing that
pass the
game,
cars
the
because they
best
were
thing, the best thing those games had was that you the custom cards you could make. That's the best thing any of those games had.
Nope, 09 destroyed that.
Yeah, no, NASCAR.
Well, no, I'm not saying it was good compared to 09. I'm just saying compared to the rest of the shit.
How did EA do it in NASCAR 09? It, like, they took the exact principles of NR 2003 and iRacing. It is something that people wanted for a long time, and then the next company could have easily done it too.
No,
They're
NASCAR
like,
09 is not. It's not what you think it is. It's it's an incredible online community.
Yeah,
game.
online is great for NASCAR 09.
Offline and the way the cars drive are horrible.
And then it was such a sad day when they shut down the 09 servers finally, because I had literally gotten the game like a few days before that happened, and I was enjoying it, and then boom, they're down.
The people I race with in Newark are all from 09. Those are like lifelong friends. I've known them for like 8 years now. That game like is awesome. Oh, I miss it now. Wow. But now that we're on the subject of games, like, you know how Heat 3 should be announced soon, and people are like, "Do you know anything about Heat 3?" And I'm like, "No, they won't tell me anything." But
So
probably coming out soon.
I think his name is Ed Martin. He put out a pretty cryptic tweet again of just footprints on dirt.
They're
Okay, so
introducing more dirt. Yeah.
It sounds like that, and usually last year I think we heard about NASCAR Heat 2 by now. We haven't yet, so we haven't
They
yet
had the
NASCAR
race
Heat
for the
3.
cover at the All-Star Race last year.
Yes, and now we haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
The rumor is that they may basically use the old format from Dirt to Daytona for this in a way.
That'd be cool.
The whole format, would it like moving up like through career mode or?
Yeah, so to speak.
Okay.
And
I
then having the ability to maybe do some dirt races.
It was funny. My uncle, he always talks about Dirt for Daytona. Anytime we're in Chicagoland for the race and we're like nothing's going on, it's like if it gets on NASCAR video games, he talks about that. He's like, it's the best one that I ever played because I mean, you know, after a certain point, he really stopped playing them and stuff. But he's like, it was amazing. There was nothing like it at the time. He's like, if they could do that with modern graphics, it's like it'd be the best game they could ever make.
I never played it.
I'll tell you what's
never played it.
I'll tell you what's so sad that this game got shut down, but Big Ant was working on a really good looking dirt track racing game for newer consoles, and it was on Kickstarter, but it went nowhere. At about the same time iRacing brought out their dirt stuff, and it like ultimately killed the game. But honestly, like what I've seen it looked like it was going to be a pretty good console game.
You know what's a good game? I think it's Gran Turismo 5 when they had NASCAR on there. That was awesome. It was so online play was so much
Gran
fun.
Turismo 5 NASCAR was very strong.
Yeah, I
really
mean
liked
the
it.
cars at Daytona and stuff. That was so much fun to race.
Gran Turismo 5 was just fun in general. Like we had servers where you would go to the road course race, the road course track at Indy, and literally everyone would just get like a straight car, and we would drag race back there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
Oh. I was like
That's
13 when that was going on.
That's something I wish that would come back in video game format, is like an NHRA game, or even do NHRA somehow into iRacing. I think that would be really cool.
Wait, there's been an NHRA game before?
Like
I have an NHRA game.
years back, they made them for like the PlayStation 2.
Well, how do you play it? Well, I don't know. How do you like play it though? I mean, you
Is it all about doing setups and stuff beforehand?
Yeah, it's like upgrades pretty much. Timing is a huge thing. You do the burnout at the start. You got to set up at the line. And then it's all about reaction time from there pretty much. It's actually a strangely soothing game. The load times are horrible, but it's a soothing game.
Like, I would love to see iRacing eventually do a drag racing thing, but the only thing that I fear is that you'd have this big cluster of people in the garage area, and you'd have like people lining up to getting ready for their drag around, and then there'd be the person come through just flying through in between people and just come through the thing as people are getting ready to go.
What about isn't there a World of Outlaws game? I've never played it, but is that any good?
Yeah, it was for the 360. It was okay for what it was, but it definitely the game that Big Ant was working on before the iRacing Dirt stuff come out. It looked like it was going to wipe the floor with what they had.
Yeah, that sounds like that could have been really cool.
Because I mean, they were going to do not just the sprint cars, but they were going to do the late models, everything.
Do you guys think so for NASCAR Heat 3 do you guys think? I guess y'all said you guys don't know. I don't keep up with this stuff very well. I don't know, but is there a chance of us seeing Heat 3 at E3 or?
It wasn't there. Well, were they there? I'm trying to think.
Yeah. I don't know if
they were there in like they were there for like a day or two, and it was like an indie develop. Like they're a very small company, so when they were there, they had like their little small thing, but I never saw it, and I never. But I reached out to them and told them like, if you ever need any help with the promotion, let me know. And they're very quiet on it. They're tight-lipped. I don't know anything about the game.
Or maybe they're just like, oh, we're not going to make a game this year.
Oh no, there's a game coming. Yeah, there's a game coming. It'll be, and they're taking their time. They're doing it a little bit of a different approach, which I actually like.
I like that Heat 2 is a significant step up from Heat Evolution, so that's why I just wonder what those are from Heat 3.
Heat Evolution is the worst game I've ever played.
I have to ask: is Heat 2 worth like buying for $50? Like, is it worth it?
It's worth it just for the ticket because where I'm going to the Coke 600 this weekend, $50 of that come from just buying that game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if it's worth buying it now, but 6 months ago it was definitely worth it.
I would say they're going to do it again in the future, honestly.
If they do, I'll buy Heat 3. If they don't, I'll still buy Heat 3 because people are going to stream it all the time. But
I remember
made it nice.
I remember KamikazeGames. I think this was 2 weeks ago. You were at a GameStop and you tweeted a picture of NASCAR Heat, and it was like for $39. I was like, what?
NASCAR, and they had a copy of NASCAR Heat 2 for like 15.
I've spoken with people with GameStop before about this subject. Huh?
Did we lose you, or is that me?
I don't know. I'm fine.
Is Jared in the void?
I think I'm falling into the void. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Well, anyways, I've spoken with GameStop people about this subject before. And if you notice, like even back before like the current consoles, the NASCAR games that were out there, like NASCAR 08, NASCAR 09, NASCAR 2011, all of those still stayed a really higher price for a long time for the simple fact that as the consoles were changing, there just was not a lot of NASCAR games on the market for them to really justify lowering the prices like dirt cheap. Because if you look at Madden, it's the worst franchise to be worth a ton when it comes out, but then like 3 years later, it's $4.
Yeah.
Because they have something just like it the next year. It's just different players.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically the same game every year. It's just a roster update.
That's what I appreciate about Heat 2 so much is the fact that it was just an overall big enough step up. Because otherwise, like with this day and age, you can just download the new paint schemes. Like that's all that really matters half the time.
I talked with them about the future 3, 4, 5, and like what I would like to see in it. And they're a very small company, so they don't have a lot of people working on the game, but they have a very good idea of where they want to go in the future. That's why I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all with where they're going to take the game. It'll be good. And then someone here says, where is it? EA Sports should make NASCAR games. EA is the worst company of all time in terms of gaming, so I don't know if you would want that again.
EA is probably the same as ESPN. They just do not care about NASCAR.
I would like to see 2K make a NASCAR game. I think that'd be pretty lit, but they don't.
I don't know because I mean 2K's doing great with their basketball series, but they're horrible with their WWE series. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I would say the NASCAR license is in good hands for now, because if you put it in 2K, by the way, people with 2K fans, they don't like 2K18 because they've destroyed their game with the same thing EA's been doing, which is the loot box, the microtransactions,
Yeah,
that stuff. So Heat 3 will be fine if they go in the direction that I think they want to go in. It'll be just fine.
I mean, they're called 704 games for a reason. They're right there in the 704, the Charlotte area. They're right there in NASCAR country. They're in the same building as NASCAR.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
Oh,
they're
I
right.
didn't know that was what they were called.
They're the big NASCAR building that's right next door to the Hall of Fame. I didn't go to the Hall of Fame when I was there. I'm so stupid too. They're like, "Do you want to go visit the Hall of Fame?" And I was like, maybe. And I was like,
Well, I'll send you pics, okay?
I want to be there, but I purposely don't look up the Hall of Fame so when I go in there, I'm like, all right.
They do change the cars each year. They change the cars like in the big display each year, but it's pretty awesome because like you can go on it and see the banking of different individual tracks as you go.
I like the package that I've got for this because like what I got, it's going to have like the simulator ride thing. It's also going to have the like the food as well. So I mean, I've got my food stuff ready to go.
The simulator at the Hall of Fame, like they give you like you can race against 7 people or whatever. Like, don't get stuck with little kids. I became amazing at wreck avoidance. No, I know you can't, but I'm just saying it's like because they'll have you like sit on like just an arcade to qualify because I think it's always Daytona, and so it's like, you know, oh, you did well. It's like I just had to press the gas and just turn.
Yeah,
that's all I had to do. Then you get in the car or whatever. They do go by they go completely by NASCAR rules because like there's like they had a 3-year-old. I don't know why they had a 3-year-old doing it, but I mean, or else it was like, you know, a really small person. And the person just slammed on the brakes in front of everyone, and to avoid it, I went around, and then I got penalized and finished last for it.
What is the simulator? Is it NR 2003 or iRacing or something completely different?
I think it's iRacing. And then they put you like in cars, like they have like sort of life-size cars or whatever that you can be in. Yeah. And there's like when I was there was like Edwards, Gordon Jr., Johnson, like all the popular ones. And I mean it's fun. Like I won my second race easily because all I had to do was just avoid people crashing.
Yeah, I know they've also got like this the pit crew challenge. I'm looking forward to trying that out. And I know, especially for me, I know I got an email saying that they've opened up the Junior Appreciation Tour like exhibit over there. So that'll be nice for me as a junior fan to go see that. There's also really cool things there's like each individual place you can go for different members that are in the hall, and there's a lot of really interesting stuff that like most people don't know. It takes like just put a day out of the way for it because the tour takes so long because there's so much stuff to look at, especially if you're a NASCAR fan. Like had it just been people like in my family that didn't watch NASCAR, they'd probably be through it in like an hour or so and be like, oh, that was cool. But it's like me and my grandpa are just like, oh, look at that over there. Oh, and that over there. Oh my God, that's stuff from Craven's car. Oh my God, that's stuff from Earnhardt. And that's Petty. And it's like we were like kids in a candy shop. It was every NASCAR fan should have that on like their bucket list to go to. It's such an amazing place. There's so much like the history of the sport there too. Well, guys, I think it's about time to be wrapping this thing up. Yeah, we got to look at funny things from Snapchat. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I got to go look back up all those Kurt Busch quotes again, just because I got to hear them again for good times. Good pleasure. Yeah, well, guys, I'll go ahead and let you all start closing it out and giving your all's little spill there.
Bedtime where I'm from, so I gotta go to. I was playing.
It's like 7 o'clock where you are.
Yeah, you're talking about bedtime. I'm 10:39 p.m. over here.
The sun's still out on a couple of y'all's screens. I mean,
yeah, it's bright there behind Kamikaze.
Mm-hmm. All right, so who wants to go first?
Turns off light. Still bright.
As I'm so epic says, "Vlog." Kurt Busch. Such great motivation.
I'll start off. Thanks to Radman and KamikazeGames for being on again tonight. It's been fun chatting for, goodness, about 2.5 hours now. So yeah, had a good time. Hopefully see you guys on again some other week. And thanks for joining us, everybody in the chat. Appreciate it.
I'll go next. So yeah, again, thanks to our guests, KamikazeGames and RealRadMan. It's awesome having you guys again. Or well, having Radman again, having Kamikaze for the first time. Hopefully next time your computer doesn't try and kill itself again.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at IceTitan80, on gab.ai at Iceberg, even though I don't go on it. And then subscribe to my channel. So, because the stream will be on here next week, or on my channel next week, I should say. I don't know. I still suck at intros and outros. So, Popcorn Darian.
Popcorn. Oh, I get it. Took me a second. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's stream. Today's stream. Make sure to subscribe to everyone's channels if you haven't. First off, congrats to DannyBTalks for getting over 1,000 subs too. Yeah, so it's been well noted that me and DannyBTalks, we've been doing YouTube for pretty much the same time. I started in December, so did he. What we've been able to accomplish in 4 short months is nothing short of amazing. With both our channels, close to reaching 3,000 subs, and he just went over 1,000, and then he also helped out, starting with this whole live stream thing as well. So that's pretty cool. And also, just before I end this, I just want to make a public service announcement. Make sure to get this game, the rarest game. Yeah, a NASCAR game you'll ever find.
Just NASCAR.
Just NASCAR, man. The only game for the PSP. This is my childhood right here. So I don't even know if there's really any left. I think the last time I checked, there was like 4 left. So get them while you can. So I'll definitely be playing this when I'm on the plane next week when I'm going to Virginia. So I'll be in Virginia next week, and I'll still be able to do the stream as well. So yeah. And also be on the lookout for my video tomorrow on my new series, the Gone Too Soon series. I'm going to be doing the first episode on Adam Petty. So make sure to watch out for that. So I'll just do my usual outro. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Black Flags Matter. Catch you next time. Your turn.
Damn, I was holding Kamikaze. I was just waiting to see which one it was. Thank you guys for joining the stream. That's my headphones on. Thank you guys for joining the stream. And yeah, I'm glad it could be another guest on another show. I don't know when I'll be back. I try to come back occasionally here and there when I get the chance. I wasn't hoping to be late like I was this time, but it is what it is. You knew. Most of you guys knew what I was doing. So that's pretty good. And yeah, thank you guys so much for coming on the stream. Thank you guys for supporting. Make sure you subscribe to all these guys as well. And gracias. Bye-bye.
Aight. So, well, just what everyone else said. Thanks for watching. I have a raging migraine, and my computer may or may not explode next to me, but I'd certainly love to do this again sometime. So check me out. You probably know my channel if you're watching this. Yeah, but if you don't follow me on Twitter yet, I highly recommend that because it's basically my second channel at this point. That'll be at KGONYT. So yeah, thanks for watching. Sayonara.
Oh, I thought he was gonna yell. Oh well, I thought he was gonna
I'm
rage.
at home. I can't yell.
There are plenty of great racing videos on his channel if you'd like to go see them. And speaking of channels, I did upload a video today. Part 2 of my 5 NASCAR drivers you forgot about series. A couple of drivers you'll be able to see is Mr. Kevin Conway, the Extends man.
The boner
I
car.
love that guy, bro.
The boner car.
As well as James Busher and Dylan Klosneski. Go check out that video. Probably have a good time on that.
Kevin Conway got the shaft in his career.
I see what you did there.
Ooh.
Well, also, if you haven't already, make sure you do lick the like button. Get rid of that dislike button that you all was doing for some reason. Thanks for coming on watching this. I'm so glad that this has grown from more than just 20 or so people watching and AB68 being our only person in the comments. Now this is going to be a great weekly thing. I'm so happy to have a lot of people who are enjoying this, that are just wanting to engage and just talk about this great sport of NASCAR. We're fortunate enough to be joined by some great panelists here, like these guys are seeing on here. We are open to getting more great YouTubers on here. We want to get people like David Land. We want to see people. We want to even get drivers in this, just to hear some of their perspectives one day. So just make sure you keep supporting the series. We'll keep rotating. Next week, we're going to be over on the Iceberg's channel, probably back to our usual Wednesday date for that, 8 o'clock Eastern time, as always during the week. And as far as some of you who are watching my channel, I have kind of decided here, my Danny B Walks series is kind of going to come to an end, and I think I've been thinking about this. The way I'm going to refocus my channel now is just to exclusively focus on doing this stream and doing my call my list video, so to speak, and maybe even doing some more race reaction streams. We got a lot of good response back from that reaction stream to the All-Star Race, so we might end up doing that again one day. Hopefully, maybe even get some of these guys involved for one of those. And yeah, that's about it from here. I hope everyone's had a great time. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and subscribe to these guys as well. And make sure you like that like button. And we'll see you next time. I'm going to go ahead and get us ready to send on out of here with some music. And it's been fun, guys, as always. And I hope you all enjoyed it too. Hope you all enjoyed it. And I hope everyone has a great night. So now I'm going to send you all off to some great music from Ethan Maxwell, In the Shadows.